And welcome to the annual Pittsburgh Steelers mock draft in conjunction with our friends over at Walk the Mock. Really excited for tonight, guys. Give me 1 second here as I pull up the video and so I can see you guys in the chat. But getting ready, 29 minutes away until the 2023 mock draft kicks off. And can't wait for that. Going to be a lot of fun. We'll explain the rules and what's going on here in just one moment. If you guys could let me know if you can hear me, and then we can kind of get started and go through exactly what's happening in about 28 minutes. So just let me know, and if you can hear me, then we will get started. But really excited for tonight and thankful for the great people over at Walk the Mock to invite me on to GM for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, refreshing the chat, everything sounds good. So what'll happen tonight is a 3-round mock draft that'll start top of the hour, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, with, I think, just about 31 other real people. If we scroll down, there are a couple teams that don't have GMs, it appears. The Giants, the Rams, and the Saints, but maybe they'll get somebody else in there last second. But generally speaking, we are drafting with other real people and competing with them. There's some other live streams happening as well, I believe, but I'm glad you guys are here. And there are trades, and it'll be madness. And so just 3 rounds, but for Pittsburgh, that's going to be 4 picks, considering they have 2 in the second at 32 and 49. Also, of course, pick 17 and pick number 80. And so you guys are my scouts, and you are here to help me draft. So I will need your advice, and I really, do appreciate it. So let me see what you guys are saying here in the chat. Again, just wanted to start the stream early, so to get some people in here, get myself situated, and get ready to go. If you guys could hit the like button on the stream, would really appreciate that as well. That'll bring in more people, and it's good for the YouTube algorithm. I see a comment here from Nicholas McKay who says, saw you on Mr. Hurricane live stream chat a couple days ago. Didn't know you were a fan. Yeah, big fan of Mr. Hurricane. I've been watching him for forever. I mean, Kalispell was kind of the marquee series, but I've watched a ton of his stuff. So cool that you are as well, Nicholas. All right, let's see what else we have here. Braden's here. Paul's here. Steel Analysis. Stephanie's here. Ultimate Elite 11. Kevin. Appgator. I know Mike Adesso's been waiting for a long time for this to happen, so I'm glad you guys are all here. Again, we can do trades. Trades are a little bit, it's pretty rapid fire, just like the way that it is in a real draft scenario. All right, 26 minutes. Yeah, I don't have a big board right now, Dominic. I'm just going to go with the default. Whenever the room opens up 10 minutes prior to the draft, so 7:50, I can just choose my board and we can start really going through names. So I don't have anything set up in advance. I'm just kind of winging it, and that's why I need your help. So we'll figure it out together. Matt, yes, I've done this for at least since Najee. I think Najee in 21 was the first year that I became part of this for Walk the Mock. So I did this in 21, 22, and now 23. A lot of trench commentary here. Yeah, I really don't have any preconceived notions about which way to go for Pittsburgh right now. This draft is happening earlier than past years, so it's before free agency gets started, so it kind of muddies the picture a bit about what direction to go, but I think it makes it more interesting in that sense. Reverse World is here, says, hey Alex, first time listener, long time caller here, glad to have you. Reverse World, appreciate you joining. Steel Pastor says, for trades, do you have the other teams submit proposed trades to you? They can. I can send out trade offers, and can and have in the past gotten trade offers from other GMs. And so we can do that on the fly and It gets really crazy. Last year we had so many offers, and we made at least one trade last year, so we'll just have to wait and see. How many quarterbacks will go in the first round, says Brenton717. At least 4. I don't know if a 5th will get in there, but who knows? We're dealing with real people. We don't know how this thing's going to go. So let me ask you guys, as we wait until 8 p.m. to start the draft, and I know my answer to this is always maybe, but I'll kick the question to you guys. Any considerations about going up or going down? Let's put it this way. If we were to trade up, who should we target? Is there a guy that we think we should go after that probably won't be there at 17? And for me, one name that comes to mind is Christian Gonzalez, the corner from Oregon, who I watched some this weekend, really impressed with. Just for fun, thoughts on Deontay Johnson? Yeah, tough year for him last year. I think he'll bounce back. I think he's a better player than people give him credit for. I think he gets in the slumps. I think mentally he stacks bad plays. He has to work on that. But I've not given up on Deontay Johnson. Steel Pastor says trade down, not up. Grant Humphrey likes Devon Witherspoon from Illinois. Yeah, it's a strong cornerback class. Josh, I don't know who my top corner is yet, but I think Gonzalez is going to be tough to beat for his size, his press ability, man coverage ability, competing with a football in the air. He can tackle. Big fan of Gonzalez. So about 22 minutes until the draft begins. Thank you guys for being here. 122 already, and we've yet to even begin drafting. So that's a really good sign. Really, thank you guys for spending your Sunday here with me. Some people saying to trade up or trade down. Yeah, really don't have any preference right now, and as always, depends on the board, depends on the offers. A little bit harder in this world because the future picks mean nothing. A future first does nothing for you in this scenario, in this world. Marshall says, thoughts on D-line targets, fits? Yeah, it's hard in the first round. I think defensive line to me is the biggest need as the Steelers sit here today. But who would be that guy at 17? You got Brisset from Clemson, but he's going to be a pretty split player. I know that Jonathan Heitritter, not a big fan of him overall. So I don't know what other guys would really fit at 17, second round. Keanu Benton, a nose tackle from Baylor, another option as well. Reverse World, $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Says, have you seen Cansey from Pitt? Sleeper star, in his opinion. He might be a first-round pick. Just the way that Aaron Donald kind of rose up a bit late in that process. A similar profile, undersized, bursty, 3-tech, one-gap penetrate type guy. Not Aaron Donald, obviously. So is that a good fit for Pittsburgh? Probably not. But that's a guy that, still could go round 1 to somebody else. Brisset, I always get the pronunciation. I'm still kind of working on that because I read these names. I don't always hear these names. And so I got to work on that. Brisset. Daniel says Brian Branch from Alabama. Yeah, I think he's super versatile, can wear a lot of hats. That's not a bad suggestion, Daniel. Mike says, Sundays just aren't the same without Steelers football. Things like this help a bit. I'm glad they do, Jeff, and I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad everybody else is for this mock draft. Jay Gillum, a top tackle prospect or a top corner prospect, otherwise trade back if possible. That's a sound strategy. We'll see if the tackles fall. Paris Johnson, Broderick Jones, Peter Skoronski, or one of the top corners. I think from a value standpoint, value and positional value standpoint, corner and left tackle, or just offensive tackle in general, but left tackle probably for Pittsburgh, kind of stand out to me the most right now, even if I think D-line is the biggest need in a vacuum for this team right now. Brenton, no top 5 linebacker list yet for you. Trenton Simpson from Clemson, probably going to be one of the top guys. Jack Campbell, a day 2 candidate. Carlito Seymour says, hey, Alex, love the podcast. Can't believe I made the mock draft. So glad you're here. Appreciate you here. And please help me draft. I'm glad you're here because I'm going to need your guys' help. Jeff Carter scored a goal. Hey, how about that? Pens. What's the score of the Pens game? It was tied at 1 last I saw. And Jeter fan says, thoughts on reuniting Addison with Pickett. I'm not as crazy about Addison as I think others are. I would not take him in the first round. He would have to fall into day 2 for me to consider that, and he probably won't in real life and probably won't in this mock either. 6-2. The Pens are up. Wow. All right, stacking a couple wins. Got the big OT win yesterday, so very hit and miss type team. Neil says, hi, Alex, longtime Twitter supporter, new YouTube subscriber. Thoughts on Drew Sanders? Yeah, Sanders, in terms of off-ball and pass rush ability, a really good fit overall, should test well. I do like Drew Sanders. Our Tom Mead has talked about him quite a bit. Again, if you guys could like this stream, would really appreciate that. Also, subscribe. I'm going to do some more videos soon on college prospects. You guys have liked the ones I've done on Benton and Voorhees. I'm going to have another college prospect breakdown later this week. I won't tell you who, but I'll have one later this week in addition to some of the Steelers content I can get into a bit more. So please subscribe. Would really appreciate that. I know it's a slower season, and YouTube's not as active as it is when the Steelers are playing. But subscriptions now with free agency and the draft upcoming, still a ton of content for you guys. Yeah, Sanders at 32, that might be the move if he's there. But, of course, if he's there. Gustavo says, the game plan, offensive tackle or corner? Yeah, I think that's a solid game plan, but you got to be light on your feet. The way Mike Tomlin says, have a plan, but be light on your feet. Never know how the draft will turn out. I didn't watch the HBCU Legacy Bowl. Xavier Smith out of FAMU. I don't know much about him. I've seen the other FAMU kid, Isaiah Land, who I like. I don't know if he played in the game. He was at the Senior Bowl. Talk to him. So that's kind of the FAMU guy that I like. Aubrey Miller from Jackson State, the other HBCU player that's on my radar right now. Any chance they go Skoronski over Mock? Or are you saying Mock over Skoronski? I think Skoronski just for the pedigree. Now, we don't know for sure how Kahn and Weidel will handle things, but that's my inclination right now. Better player, better school. Torrance at 17 from Jeremy Nelson. That's possible. I'm not maybe as crazy about Torrance as others, but not going to rule things out. By the way, you guys can't hear me cough. I have a makeshift cough button, so hopefully that's okay. Sometimes when I talk, I just start coughing. I don't know. It's just something that my body does, but hopefully you guys can't hear that, and my mute button does actually work. Mo Steele says Broderick Jones, Drew Sanders, Forbes, Benton would be my ideal as of now. It's a solid group right there. Emmanuel Forbes, kind of in that second tier corners, but big and long. I think he's like Martin Emerson. He's doing well in Cleveland right now. Skoronski at 17, then Mock at 32. That's probably a little too O-line heavy, I think, Dominic. Do I think tight end 2 is a need this year? No, I wouldn't call it a need, assuming Zach Gentry is re-signed. There's a debate to be had. It's a really good tight end class overall. Is that the biggest priority for Pittsburgh? I would argue no, but, Michael Mayer, I'm a big fan of him. If that's a guy that slips a bit, we'll talk about it. Carlito says, shout out to Dave as well. You guys do a wonderful job. Thank you so much. Yeah, we'll have the podcast tomorrow. So the Terrible Podcast returns tomorrow. Thoughts on Ringo? Yeah, I've heard some questions about, good athlete in the line. Can he play corner? Should he move to safety? Some of the buzz has kind of cooled off on Ringo lately. Darnell Washington, yeah, I love Washington from Georgia. Big, physical, powerful, the blocker. If there's a guy that I might be tempted to take, it'd be Mayer in Washington. So if Washington's there at 32, I know that might not scream need, but it would scream value to me. Edge is a sneaky need from Aiden. Yeah, I've been banging the edge drum for a while now that this team needs depth behind Watt and Highsmith. Leslie Howe is going to become that hybrid number 3 rotational guy, which I think he should. But if he isn't, then I think edge is a big need. Whenever this draft starts, let me know if you guys can hear the audio in terms of there'll be draft sounds about trade alerts and picks being in. I just want to make sure you guys can hear that. I think last year there was an issue with the audio where people couldn't hear it. And I want you guys to have that so you're not just hearing my voice for 2 hours, which no one wants to have. And if the audio comes through, just let me know. If you can't hear any audio when the draft officially starts in less than 15 minutes, please let me know. Trenton Simpson from Clemson, an option. Although, trying to build this thing inside out. You want your D-line set before your off-ball linebackers, but obviously value is going to be a consideration. And is there that D-line worthy of taking at 17? Might be hard to find that guy. Thoughts on Isaiah Foskey from Notre Dame, the edge? Yeah, I think he had a good Senior Bowl week. Really good on special teams. Blocked like 4 punts in his career. Can set the edge. Is that a real premier type guy? I don't know. But if he were to fall a bit, maybe to 49, something to consider. I do like his size. Pittsburgh, they want and really need big edge rushers to succeed. Tristan says we cannot use 2 second-round picks on tight end in 3 years. It's a fair point unless the offense were to transform into that Cleveland, Baltimore, 12 personnel base offense. If it becomes that, you can justify it. If not, then that's a valid point. Rob Jones, a big Dorian Thompson-Robinson fan. He was at the Shrine Bowl. I know some of the Shrine Bowl guys that covered that for the site talked about him quite a bit. Have an interview with him on the site as well. Quarterback in the 7th. No, thank goodness there are no 7th-round picks in this mock. Quarterback is not happening, I'll tell you that much. Reginald, we are doing the top 3 rounds. Top 3 rounds. So day 1 and day 2 for this mock draft. Will take a little while, I think. Thoughts on, and I'm still trying to remember the pronunciation, Brzee from Clemson. I haven't studied him too up close and personal yet. I think the talent's there, but 15 tackles last year. I know he had the injury and the kidney infection and, was dealing with a lot personally off the field, but it's hard to invest in that guy with that light production, and you're kind of banking on traits. I'll take that risk later in the first round as the guy that defines my class. Might be too rich for me. 204 people already here, and we have not even started yet. Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, please like, please subscribe. Would really appreciate that. Got a ton of Steelers and NFL draft content coming to you guys over the next couple of weeks, and of course, all year around. But in 12 minutes, we will start the draft. In about 2 minutes, the draft room will open. I may hide the screen for a second as I kind of navigate things, and then I'll pull it back up, and we'll pick our board, get actually in the room. I believe we can then start making offers. Not that I'm going to plan on making an offer out of the gate. But the draft room opens in less than 2 minutes, and the draft begins 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Parker Washington, 4th-round slot target. Yeah, he's kind of got that James Washington build, kind of a stout, stocky thing. Can break tackles, yak guy. Interesting player. I think Jackson Smith and Jigba, big fan of him. Probably too early to take in this world. Likely to be a 1st-round pick or early 2nd-round pick. But I can see that, Rob. Jalen, who's the one guy I see really rising their stock post-combine? I'm not sure if I have a good answer for you right now. We'll see. I don't know if there's one name coming to mind for me, so I just kind of, take it as it is and, see who tests well and go from there. Trubisky offseason workouts don't make him seem like a guy that wants out yet. Yeah, I think he's just unhappy with how it went, understandably, but I think he wants to train. Good for him, and right now he has to assume he remains a Steeler, and he's got to work out with somebody, whether he was a free agent or not. Good to train, good to be around those guys, but really good to see. Props to him. Luke, I will not be at Indy. We do have 2 people going to Indy, and Jonathan Heitritter and Joe Clark. They will be at Indianapolis for the Combine, leaving in just a couple of days to represent the site. My ideal pick at 17, I haven't firmed that up yet, Mike, but I think Christian Gonzalez right now is the leader in the clubhouse. How big is the need at linebacker, in your opinion? I think off-ball edge need to be addressed. Jalen, Julius Brents, a mid-round steal. He might be a 2nd-round guy. He had a great Senior Bowl week with his size and length, the way that Tariq Woolen performed well last year. He probably doesn't get out of round 2. All right, the draft has opened up. We are 10 minutes until draft time. Let me go to the draft. Let me take one last look. Here are the GMs. And there is us for the Steelers. Going to the draft. We'll choose default ranking. And now we are in the draft room. Please let me know if you can see this whole screen. Hopefully you should. I think last year there was an issue with some text being cut off. You should be able to see the clock that's at 9:30. You should be able to see 1-1 with Chicago, all the way to 1:13 for the Jets. And I need to turn the audio on as well. They told me how to do it. There's a button somewhere around here. How do you turn on the audio? Settings. There we go. Sound. Everyone says it's fine. Okay, yeah, that should be the way you see things. I know last year something with my configuration through OBS was, I believe, cutting things off. This is a little bit large, so I will try to scroll and make sure everybody can see the pics. I don't know if I can maybe zoom out. That's not going to do much. I don't want the text to be too small. We'll keep it. Jaden Reed from Michigan State, someone that's caught his eye. Yeah, another good Senior Bowl week. He's probably the best receiver at Mobile. Punt return, had 3-4 punt return for touchdowns in his career. I think somebody that fits well in Pittsburgh's offense, can play all over, but would primarily play in the slot. Neil, do I think Gonzalez goes top 10? I think he's gone before 17. I don't know about top 10. Might be your flavor in terms of what type of corner, but I think he's gone before 17. Fleece one of these bloggers for additional picks. I don't know. I might get fleeced. We'll see. I can't guarantee anything. I might get fleeced here. How many corners go in round 1? Over under 3.5. I'll take the over easily on the over there, Dakota. I think at least 4 go throughout the top 31. So this is the draft situation. I can kind of scroll through, get familiar here. You can choose the positions. It's a little bit, they do it a little bit strangely here in terms of clicking on and clicking off. So we'll look at some of the top tackles. Peter Skoronski, Parrish Johnson, Broderick Jones, Anton Harrison, Dawan Jones, Darnell Wright. I'm a big John Michael Schmitz fan. He had another really strong week at the Senior Bowl. Played center. I think he has the size to play guard. So that's a guy, if he's there at 32, and I think in real life he probably goes day 1. But if he's there at 32, I might run up the card for John Michael Schmitz. Steve Avila from TCU has gotten a lot of good reviews as well. Defensive line here. It just feels a little bit light in terms of what we need right now at the top. Throw in nose tackle, though, as well. There's Zach Pickens. Where's Benton at? Where do they have Keanu Benton? There he is, a 57. Derek Hall, a great fit day 2. I'm with you there, Aiden. Yeah, JMS. You guys like JMS for sure. Yeah, Paris will be gone by 32. Can he be there at 17? Can't. Because here's the thing. Last year, only one quarterback went in the top 2 rounds. No quarterback went until Pickett at 20. This year, you're going to have 4 quarterbacks that should go. We'll see how this goes. But 4 quarterbacks that should go in the top 10 before 17 at the least, which means other guys will be pushed down. It will push down some of those tackles. Last year it started so defense heavy. You're still going to get some of that with Jalen Carter, with Will Anderson, but just the quarterback and the demand priority for those guys will, I think, create some value at 17. There'll be a trickle-down effect there. Yeah, Benton's not at 17, but a day 2 candidate for me. Chance the Bears GM's looking for a trade. He might. We'll see what Spawn Hour does. Certainly, you might get some offers for him to go up. I expect that to happen in real life. Yeah, the draft has not started. We'll start here. As you guys can see, this is when the draft starts. Just over 5 minutes, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Drafting the first 3 rounds, days 1 and 2. Days 1 and 2. Worried how people will pronounce Smith and Jigba if they draft him? It's a fair point. I only know his name because of his brother is Kanan Smith and Jigba, who plays in the Pirate system, who's in spring training right now. Yeah, I guess this is the name. It's the owner name. I don't know. I don't know most of these people. I know the Bills. That's cover 1. They do a great job over there. I think Greg. Yeah, Greg's drafting for Buffalo. So definitely respect his work, the work they do over there. I know Theo Ash does some good clips as well, but I'm not familiar with most of these people. Do I think Edge is really worth a pick in the second? I wouldn't say no to it. It depends on the board, but there's value in that. I mean, this defense fell apart without TJ Watt last year. I mean, they've not had good depth since trading Melvin Ingram. So, yeah, I think it's worth it. $5 super chat from Travis Sanders. The first super chat from Travis. Thank you, man. Alex, where do you expect the biggest jump for Pickett? Processing, control of the offense, managing pocket. Appreciate all your coverage of the Steelers. Yeah, I think, he got better the back half of last year, taking care of the football. Running to throw, not running to scramble and actually take off. That was a big improvement. Just general pocket presence, I think, is one area for him to improve on. That's a pretty obvious one. But it'll just be good for him to have control and be the guy from day one, not fighting for a job, not being the new guy. He is this team's quarterback. He's no longer a rookie, both in literal experience and having the experience on the field last year. So that all should be positive. Let's see. Rather bring back Dupree than spend a second on an edge. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Trade up if Witherspoon goes off the board before pick 12 for Gonzalez. We'll see. I'm not boxing myself into any corner right now. There's a chat around here too. Where's the chat at? I see something here. Room chat. Give me 1 second. I gotta put the phone down so I can type. The Falcons' 8th overall pick is available. 8th overall is available. If we want to tackle, want a corner on our guy, we could make a deal. We could try to do something. So number 8 is out there. Trade up to the 8th pick if Witherspoon is there. That might be a little high for him. I do like his game. The physicality is off the charts. People saying no. Okay, no, these are just brainstorming. I'm just throwing ideas out there. I'm going to just kick around ideas. You guys are my scouts. I am the GM, but you are my scouts. I'm going to rely on my scouts here tonight. Don't want 8. Okay, we'll see. 2 minutes. 2 minutes until showtime. Again, please let me know about audio once the draft starts. If you guys can hear the audio. If you can't, whenever this draft starts, please let me know, and I'll try to correct it here as quickly as I can. You should be able to. My settings all look correct. Zach Cunningham, I'll probably pass. I'm tired of free agent, kind of journeyman. I'd rather draft somebody, to be honest with you there, Jalen. All right, we are getting ready. Again, please, one last call before the draft starts to please like this stream and subscribe to the channel. 276 here, and we are just getting underway. Really thankful you guys could join us, Alex Kozora, SteelersDepot.com. Check out the site if you are unfamiliar with it. Also want to thank the people over at Walk the Mock for putting this on and inviting me to be the Steelers GM. I would definitely replace Dotson over Dan Moore. Do you agree or disagree? I would agree. I'm with you there, but a really good left tackle, you can't rule that out at 17. All right, here we go. Just about ready to go. I'm trying to think about how to make offers to teams. The room chat says looks like the Bears will listen to offers at 1. The Bears are going to listen to offers at 1. How do I make a trade with somebody? It's a good thing to ask right before the draft starts. How do we do the basic functions of the draft? 20 seconds. 20 seconds. Display is showing blurry. Does everyone else have this issue? It looks okay on my end. You just might want to check your video settings there. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. And the Chicago Bears are on the clock. Chicago Bears are on the clock. How do I do a trade? Okay, here we go. There we go. If I wanted to send Chicago an offer, this is what the screen looks like. Again, this draft, top 3 rounds. You will not make Chicago an offer, but this is the screen. It sounds like the Bears are entertaining a potential deal. If we get any trades in, it will show it down here. If I'm missing a trade, if something comes in, it'll say it here in incoming. Please let me know. Please spam the chat if you see something and I'm missing it after 10 seconds or so, because I am liable to do that. If Carter falls, maybe go up to 8. We'll see. If the Bears can't trade out at 1, then they got to go Will Anderson or Jalen Carter. Unless Justin Fields is no longer part of Spawn Hour's plans. So we'll see. I assume he wants to make a move and is will use every second he can to make a move. That's my read of the situation right now. Is he getting offers, though? We will see. Also, want to let you know there's a bit of a lag and delay, about 10 seconds or so from when I talk to when you guys, or whenever I kind of see this on the stream. So just want to let you guys know there'll be a bit of a lag. So just a heads up. Reunite Addison with pick at a popular thought, as there are 30 seconds left in pick 1 of the 2023 Walk the mock draft. What will Chicago do? Can they make a trade? Will they make a trade? Or will they go Will Anderson, Jalen Carter, or surprise us all with something else? And again, let me know if the audio comes through. You should hear some audio sounds right now as the clock ticks down. Chicago. The Bears take. They've traded their pick, a last-second trade with the Colts. And now Destin and the Colts are on the clock. Rob says the audio is good. Look at this start. Look at this start. The first big trade. I wonder what the actual trade terms were. It looks like Chicago's getting a second and a third. The Colts going all in. The Colts will have one pick in this draft, and they take. What quarterback? C.J. Stroud, quarterback, Ohio State. Wow. I'm a Bryce Young fan. I take Bryce Young. But Destin and the Colts, as they rebuild, taking C.J. Stroud at number 1, trading up, going all in with Chicago, giving up their second and third round pick to go up 3 spots. Let's see what the chat says. And the chat is humming, both in the stream and in the room. Stroud, not the first overall pick. Texans on the board, gotta think quarterback. Did their plans change with C.J. Stroud gone? That's a good point. Colts getting the Ohio State kid. This is a wild start. Again, Pittsburgh at 17. 341 people here in the chat. Really appreciate that, guys. As we are getting ready to make the Pittsburgh Steelers pick at 17. The pick is in for the Houston Texans at number 2. And they take Bryce Young, quarterback, Alabama. It's a great pick for Houston as they rebuild. Didn't have to trade up to get Bryce Young to be the top quarterback in this class. Snipe Sally really wants Jordan Addison. I might not be as big a fan as you are, I'm sorry to say. Looking around, top offensive lineman, Skoronski, Johnson, Jones. Chat, let me ask you this right now before things get too crazy, and the chat's going to go crazy as Pittsburgh gets close to our pick. Who would you take at 17? If you could just pick anybody right now that's realistic, not Jalen Carter, not Will Anderson, guys that we think have a chance to be there at 17. If you're Pittsburgh, what name do you take? I want to get a feel for what the consensus, if there is one, could be early on. Pick is in. Arizona. The 3rd overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft. They take Will Anderson, edge from Alabama. Jalen Carter is falling right now. So we'll see where Carter goes. Chicago on the clock. Real quick, turn of the card. Jalen Carter, 4-2 Chicago. What a great move by their GM. Trading down, getting a second and third round pick, and still getting Jalen Carter. That is a power move to me. Looking at the chat here, a lot of corner talk, a lot of offensive line talk. Seems to be pretty split between, I see a lot of Witherspoon, Gonzalez, some of the offensive linemen, some Porter, branch a little bit. Skoronski's name, but it feels like Witherspoon, Gonzalez are a lot of I would say, the top 2 names right now. No offers right now. Still Pastor or trades are empty. Seattle at number 5. What is Seattle going to do? Quarterback? Something else? They take Anthony Richardson. Whoa. Geno Smith punching air right now. Anthony Richardson out of Florida. Wow. How about that? Let me just congratulate the Bears GM. Man, that is a stunner. Richardson, the polarizing guy. Geno Smith off that great season. Likely contract extension. This is a wild one, man. The draft's always fun. You can talk about all this stuff and mock draft all we want. You get on the board. Who the heck knows what's going to happen? Somebody's spiking their Starbucks. There you go. There it is. Real draft now at 6. Yeah, who is on the clock? Let me scroll down again. Top 5, Stroud, Young, Anderson, Carter, Richardson, Detroit at 6. Pittsburgh at 17. And I have no idea where Pittsburgh's going to go. I really, truthfully, have zero idea where the Steelers are headed right now. That's why I need your help. Can I scroll up to the top prospects? Yes. Top prospects. Scrolling up, Miles Murphy, Will Levis, there's Christian Gonzalez, Tyree Wilson, Devon Witherspoon, Joey Porter Jr., Peter Skoronski, Parrish Johnson. Those are the top names on the board. Captain Spartan Lions could start the corner run. That's a fair point. That's a fair point. I don't think Gonzalez will be there. Should we trade up for Christian Gonzalez? Should we trade up for Christian Gonzalez? That's on my mind right now. Do the Lions go quarterback? Or do they stick with Jared Goff? Time running out. 3, 2, 1. No one wants Christian Gonzalez. All right. Detroit Lions at 6. They take Devon Witherspoon, the corner from Illinois. They may be starting this cornerback run. The physical, bit undersized, but plays a lot bigger than his frame. Is that the highest Illinois player to go since who? Last time a Illinois guy went top 6. No one wants to trade up. No one wants to trade up. I'd probably take Gonzalez over Skoronski, Brian. Best available or trade down, says Gustavo. Considering trade down options. The Raiders are willing to move down from 7. That one just came in. The Browns want to go up in the second round. Raiders really trying to trade down right now. And Walk the Mock says vets can be traded. You can technically trade players, even though it won't be reflected in this sim. Simeon Rice, was he from Illinois? I didn't know that. Trade up for Miles Murphy. There's a Kendrick Green catch and strays, it looks like. Scout the player, not the helmet. Yeah, I'm just curious. I was just curious on the factoid. My Stats of the Weird draft edition. The last Illinois player to go top 6. Kevin Hardy, 2nd overall. Okay, it looks like that might be the answer there. Trade Kendrick Green straight up for Patrick Mahomes. Let me talk to KC. The Raiders at 7 couldn't trade down, so they will take. And there he goes. Christian Gonzalez from Oregon. He's gone, and I'm sad. Is the audio too loud? Can you guys hear? I mean, it should sound okay, but the audio is maybe a bit too loud. Just let me know, and I can turn things down. Can't see solid player, not a Steelers fit, says Mason Rudolph. That's probably a fair evaluation there. Yeah. I think I don't think we're gonna trade up. We'll see. We'll see what offers come in. Let me put it this way. I don't plan to actively try to trade up. I will listen to all offers, of course, like a good GM. I don't intend to actually try to wheel and deal to go up to any spot. Audio of the draft site is a bit loud. I can probably, let me know what else you guys think. I can try to turn things down maybe just a tiny bit. Let me know if it sounds better for the next pick. I just maybe turn things down a tiny bit. Can lower that as well. The audio of the draft site a bit loud. It does sound a bit loud, so I don't think I can change that here. Let me know when the Falcons pick. Falcons at 8. They picked 7 last year. They took Drake London. Will I try to trade back? I will listen to offers. I'm more likely to go down. I just like having a lot of picks. Pick is in for Atlanta. And the Falcons take Tyree Wilson, the edge from Texas Tech. Let me know how that audio sounded. I kind of turned things down a little bit there mid-selection. I don't want to get too hyper-focused on that. But Tyree Wilson, the pick, going to Atlanta. Solid pick there. We'll check the room chat briefly. Bucks looking to move back from 19. Small move or big move. Not going to be a big help for us right now, though. Audio a little bit loud still. I want to try one last thing. Kind of adjust the settings. Should be okay right now, I think. All right, Carolina on the pick at 9. Pittsburgh at 17. 418 people here. How about that? We don't get this in season, so it's a lot of fun. Appreciate you being here. Again, 3-round mock draft in conjunction with Walk the Mock. I am Alex Kozora, SteelersDepot.com. Please like this video and please subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate that. I don't want to beg for super chats, but whenever our pick gets close to 17, it will be hard to see basically what anyone is saying. So super chats will be more noticeable. Again, not asking, not obligated to do that. Just want to let you know, in my past experience, when the pick is about to come in for Pittsburgh, the chat is humming. I don't watch Bengal on YouTube. I've seen this stuff on Twitter a bit, but I don't watch Bengal. Nothing personal, nothing against them. I have no opinion, but I do not watch. Thank you, Colin. Thank you so much. See what quarterbacks are available. You have Will Levis. It's the big name there. And the Panthers at 9. Who will they take? Should be quarterback, you think. And there it is. Last of the top quarterbacks off the board. Will Levis from Kentucky. And might have been a trade. No, I think the Eagles are at 8 or at 10. The Eagles are taking real quick pick. Joey Porter Jr. off the board. So any of those bloodlines Pittsburgh wants, not happening. So the top 10 is in the books. Pittsburgh getting close. C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, Will Anderson, Jalen Carter, Anthony Richardson, Devon Witherspoon, Christian Gonzalez, Tyree Wilson, Will Levis, and Joey Porter Jr. So 3 of the top corners are off the board. Tennessee, pick is in at 11. Titans take Paris Johnson, the first tackle, is off the board. Breaking my heart. And for Pittsburgh, the board starts looking interesting. Peter Skoronski, Broderick Jones, Anton Harrison, Dawan Jones, Darnell Wright, options to consider. Interior O-line. Osiris Torrance, John Michael Schmitz, Steve Avila. Defensive line. I'm going to work on the pronunciation. Just give me some rope here. Brzee from Clemson. Cansey from Pittsburgh. Not really anything else to consider in round 1. So, let me navigate this a bit better. Check the room chat as the Texans are on the clock. The Eagles GM was driving. That's always good. Texans taking Lucas Van Ness from Iowa. Addressing the pass rush position. Van Ness, one of those guys that was like a rotational player, not a full-time starter at Iowa. What are we taking at 17? We are coming up here. No trades in. I'm probably most likely to sit at 17 right now. I don't know if anyone wants to come up. If someone wants to come up, 19 still available. What does Pittsburgh do? Jets on the clock at 17. Brian Branch. Yeah, Brian Branch is there. Where does he at on the board here? I don't even know where he went. Corner? What are they listing him as? Okay, corner. You got Brian Branch, Cam Smith, Ringo Forbes as your top corners right now. The big names are off the board. Miles Murphy's still there. Number 5 prospect on their rankings. What about Miles Murphy, just from a value standpoint? Jets pick is in. And the Jets take Peter Skoronski, tackle from Northwestern. And Pittsburgh's options might be dwindling as the Patriots on the clock at 14. Do they go Kincaid out of Utah? Brian Branch, again, I'm going to put the call out again a bit early before 17. Who should the Steelers take at 17? Top receivers on the board. Quentin Johnson, Jordan Addison, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. I think it's pretty interesting to me. Top players overall. Miles Murphy, Quentin Johnson, Brian Branch, Robinson from Texas, Michael Mayer, Jones, Addison, Torrance, Cam Smith, Branch. A lot of Brian Branch love right now. What do you play Brian Branch exactly? What's the plan for him? He's hyper versatile, but you want to find a spot, find a role. Patriots on the clock, then Green Bay, then Washington, and then it's us for our first pick. Trade back, nothing here. I'm going to try to say Pittsburgh, if I can type. Got the mic in the way. I've been sent a trade offer. Who has sent me an offer? We have a trade offer from the Colts. Second round pick here to get a 2, a 3, and a future 3, which is nothing. And the Patriots take Broderick Jones. Man, I don't know where to go right now. You guys, about this trade here, you can pick up a third, is what basically this is for this purpose. No? You guys tell me here on this trade offer. No? All right, we're going to reject it. Pittsburgh coming up, 3 picks away. No idea where to go. Addison, do you reunite Pickett and Addison? Might come down to Jordan Addison versus... Man, the top tackles are gone. The top corners, Brian Branch. Defensive line, Brzee. Linebacker, what about linebacker? You got Trenton Simpson, Drew Sanders, Cam Smith. The chat is starting to really pick up. Almost 500. Can we get 500 people in the chat here? Oh, man, I have no idea what Pittsburgh is going to do at 17. No idea. Addison might be coming back into the fold right now. No receivers taken so far. Not a big receiver draft. They got to go at some point, though. What does Pittsburgh do? Oh, man. Any other trade offers coming in? Nothing right now. Green Bay on the clock, then Washington, and then Pittsburgh. Miles Murphy still on the board. Hard to ignore. Someone who really wants Cam Smith. What does Green Bay do as their time is up? Miles Murphy still there. And Green Bay will take. And the pick is in. And we are on deck. Packers take Quentin Johnston, receiver, TCU. Washington on the clock at 16. And we are up at 17. Need some final input here. 525 in the chat. Thank you guys so much. You guys will drive this pick. I will try to get a consensus as much as possible. Miles Murphy's still there. Addison. And the Steelers are on the clock. Who does Washington take? I'm going to have to turn this off because I need to see. It's Miles Murphy. Miles Murphy's gone. Pittsburgh is on the clock. Is it Brian Branch? Is it Jordan Addison? Do we go? Oh, man. Oh, no. I'm freaking out. Dawan Jones. Last call to get a name in. Addison. That might be the consensus right now. Edge guys. Nolan Smith. Branch. Any trades coming in? 90 seconds. 90 seconds until Pittsburgh has to put in the card. Cam Smith, Branch. Last call here, guys. Let me know who we're taking. You guys drive this thing. So if it works out, I'll take the credit. If it doesn't work out, then I can deflect the blame. Trade back. I have no trade offers. I can't make a trade. Something comes in, that's fine. We got a minute left, guys. I'm not going to have time to try to shop an offer out there. Branch, Addison. Last two names, Jordan Addison or Brian Branch. Let me know. Those are the two finalists. Last 30 seconds, we'll call it. What do we do? Addison or Branch? Those are going to be the two finalists. I think the consensus, it's tight, it's close. Brian Branch making a late push. Will a trade come in? Nothing there. I may not love it as much as you guys do, but I think there's going to be a reunion in Pittsburgh between Kenny Pickett and Jordan Addison. Let's draft Jordan Addison with the 17th pick. And with the 17th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, Steelers take Jordan Addison, wide receiver, USC. And a pick that everybody loves. There's zero controversy about that. Absolutely 100% consensus on that one. I don't love it as much as you guys do, but I see the allure. He can play in the slot. You want to give your quarterback weapons no matter what level of that quarterback is, a top-tier guy or a guy that's still trying to figure it out. And so Jordan Addison is the pick. Burrow Chase, meet Pickett Addison. We'll see what happens. Get this offense back on track in the 20s and scoring the last 2 years. Makes a lot of sense. The tackles were gone. The corners were gone. We got 2 second-round picks to play around with. And now our focus is on pick 32. 31 picks here. Colts trying to make a move, trying to trade back. Looks like the Ravens want to trade down. A lot of teams want to trade down here. Forbes next. Yeah, there's the reaction. Thank you, guys. A lot of fun for this one. I really had no expectation about what the pick was going to be at 17. I'm not someone that was super high on Addison, but I get the pick. And there was a $5 super chat as well, and I apologize. I don't know where that came from. That was from Liberty Library. It says Addison. So you got your wish. And thank you for the super chat. Trade up from 32 for Branch. Snipe Selly wanted Addison this whole time, so he's happy about that. Forbes at 32. Trade up. Do we try to make a trade up? I like having a lot of picks, though. Do we try to trade up? I'll consider it closer to the back end of the first round. It's too early right now. It's going to cost too much. Branch, I would like. See what the Lions do at 18. Osiris Torrance from Florida. He goes to Detroit. So the Lions, 2 picks here. They took Devon Witherspoon and Osiris Torrance. Getting some physical guys. John Michael Schmitz. Yeah, I'm a big John Michael Schmitz fan. Offensive line right now. Harrison, Dawan Jones, Darnell Wright. Looking O-line maybe next year. Cody Mock, Matthew Bergeron, Steve Avila, Voorhees. I like Andrew Voorhees a lot. You guys saw the video on the channel a little while back. Tyler Steen had a good week at the Senior Bowl. So we'll see what Pittsburgh does here. The Bucks are on the clock. Some people not happy here with the Addison pick. That's all right. I just tried to see what my scouts were saying the most. Tampa Bay at 19. They take Brian Branch, and there he goes. So the chat, quit asking about Brian Branch. A worthwhile idea. Almost took him. But I think it's a very Pittsburgh thing to do to take Jordan Addison, and their infinite predictability when it comes to the first round. That one is teed up pretty well for the story. Oh, the articles write themselves when it comes to Jordan Addison at 17. Yeah, good pick there for Tampa Bay. Got a couple of super chats. Liberty Library again. We need O-line and corner. Captain Spartan 04, Darnell Wright at 32, and Keanu Benton no matter what. I'm a big Benton fan as well. I do think you don't want to be there's an overcorrection of Benton where he's not going to be the super twitchy, high impact pass rusher, but enough juice there to play in sub package and get 3-4 sacks a season. Bill Thompson, big on John Michael Schmitz. I'm with you there. Let's see what Seattle does. They shocked us with Richardson in the top 5, and they take Michael Mayer to give some more weapons to their new first-round quarterback. Mazi Smith, don't have a great firm opinion on him yet. Tom Mee just wrote him up, though, and that's another guy to certainly consider. LA at 21. Let's see what happens here. And there's Anton Harrison, tackle from Oklahoma, some protection for Justin Herbert. Baltimore. What does Baltimore do? Haven't seen much of the AFC North, with Cleveland not having a first-round pick for the next 20 years, and Baltimore and Cincinnati at 28 yet to pick. Top players on the board right now are Bijan Robinson, and Jackson Smith and Jigba, and Brissy. Oh, I'm saying that I said that one wrong. Totally wrong. Cam Smith, Ringo, Trenton Simpson as well. Again, recent picks here: Harrison, Mayer, Branch, Torrance. There's us with Addison. Miles Murphy fell. Quentin Johnson at 15. Minute left here for Baltimore. Quick note, Dave and I on tomorrow's Terrible Podcast will discuss the selections we made here. So check out the Terrible Podcast. Check out the site Steelers Depot if you're a Steelers fan, a draft fan. Got a ton of draft profiles. Please do that. But Dave and I will discuss the picks made here on tomorrow's podcast, which should drop sometime Monday early in the afternoon. Can I do a poll? How do I do a poll? I'm so bad at just navigating basic functions. I don't know if I'll have time to do that. And if I click out of the chat, it may get weird. We'll have to see. I don't know. Pick us in for Baltimore. And the Ravens take Jackson, Smith, and Jigba yet again. Whether it's real life or a walk the mock draft, Baltimore gets all the players that I really like. So there you go. Good pick there for the receiver needy Ravens. Although who will be throwing to him is an open question right now. Check out the chat here. Send trade offers. Minnesota looking to make a move. Don't think we're going to trade up, though. Not at this point. Maybe later, but I like the pick there. Top of the second round. Feels like there really isn't a big compelling reason to trade up, considering that pick is sitting right there. So probably won't. I've only gotten one trade offer so far. That was from the Colts, which we rejected. Although I didn't hate the idea. But, all right. See what Minnesota does if they can trade down. Only a couple of trades so far, but a big one at the top with Indianapolis going up to get C.J. Stroud at 1, trading up 3 spots with Chicago. Top available, says Mike. It's Bijan Robinson, Brzee, Cam Smith, Ringo, Trenton Simpson, Jalen Hyatt, Zay Flowers. Only one receiver so far, and that was Pittsburgh. Actually, 2 receivers. I was incorrect. I think I said that mistakenly earlier. Quentin Johnson, and then Jordan Addison went. Gibbs, Nolan Smith, Drew Sanders, Dalton Kincaid. Those are the top of the class. Top offensive lineman, Dawan Jones, Darnell Wright, John Michael Schmitz, Steve Avila. Top interior lineman, Brzee. Cansey still on the board. So is Siaki Ika from Baylor. Big nose tackle in the middle. What does Minnesota do? And the Vikings couldn't trade out. They will take Zay Flowers, wide receiver, Boston College. Yes, Christian Gonzalez is long gone. A review of the top picks. I'll scroll down. You can see them all right here. And we are at pick 24. Darnell Wright is not gone. Poll option should be right next to the chat. In my big boomer energy, I am not seeing them right now. So, and I'm trying to do that really quick. Might be tough to do. So I'm not even seeing the poll options right now. John Michael Schmitz is tempting. How about Brissett. I think I've said that name 4 different ways already. I'm very, very apologetic for that. Yeah, I'm not. I don't know. I don't see the poll option, so I don't want to play IT here and kind of ruin the fun of the draft. So good idea. Next year, we'll do that for next year. As Mike said, please hit the like button. One tech thing, which is not really a tech thing that I know. If you guys could hit the like button. Would really appreciate that. Subscribe to the channel as well. Draft content dropping later this week. More Steelers content. And the Jaguars dropping in their pick at 24. They take Cam Smith, the corner from South Carolina. 1 of 2 top-end Gamecocks in him and Darius Rush. Another well-put-together prospect. So Pittsburgh on the clock here at 32. Only 31 picks in the first round, with Miami forfeiting their first-round pick in the Tom Brady tampering scandal, if you can call it that. To me, really not a scandal, just a misstep there by the Dolphins. Taj says Keely Ringo. More cornerbacks. Yeah, what cornerbacks are available right now? Ringo, Forbes, Clark Phillips, our own Owen Straley, a big fan of Clark Phillips. Profile on him coming up on Steelers Depot in the next day or 2. Caillou Blue Kelly, strong Senior Bowl week. Julius Brents, maybe a sleeper down here. How about Julius Brents from Kansas State? Big and long and physical. Darius Rush. And Denver with Sean Payton. They take Bijan Robinson. So there is your running back, your first-round running back. And anything to make sure Russell Wilson does not throw the football sounds like a good pick to me. Let's check out here some of the top players available. Trenton Simpson still available. Drew Sanders. How about Drew Sanders? Mentioned him kind of before the draft got started. Not a bad idea. So I think Drew Sanders, Trenton Simpson, guys you have to consider. What about safety? Terrell Edmonds, DeMonte Casey, free agents. At safety, Antonio Johnson, Jordan Battle, J.L. Skinner. Not a great safety class this year, unfortunately. Sidney Brown, though, good day 2 pick. Sanders, a lot of Drew Sanders love here. Hard to ignore that. Hard to ignore potential offensive line options in day 1. Jones and Darnell Wright. Guys that could be day 1 right tackles. Dallas at 26. And another running back. So is that back-to-back running backs? Jamar Gibbs from Alabama. So how about that? 2 running backs back-to-back. PFF is punching air right now. They are not happy with those picks. Logan says Darnell Wright much better than Jones. /Steele. Ringo has great value at 32. Mike says Schmitz will be there at 49. Will he? We don't know. Maybe. Or do you trade up for him? Just Here says, with a $2 super chat, thank you so much, says, please, Alex, it's got to be Sanders or a tackle. So that's where Just Here is at. Got to consider probably offensive line, inside linebacker, Simpson, Sanders, interior O-line, Schmitz, Avila. Avila's a name to consider as well. It's probably where the focus is at right now. D-line, where does Brissett go? Where does Cansey go? Not crazy about those picks for Pittsburgh. Trenches, a lot of Drew Sanders love. Dave is saying to take Brissett. I don't know if that's, I don't know how serious that is, if that's a joke or not. I think it'll be one of the more interesting guys, though, in this year's class for sure. And Ben, you're right, he may fall. But a good combine workout could boost him right back up. Nolan Smith, Schmitz, Avila doesn't fit us yet. He's maybe a little bit on the smaller side. I mean, he's strong. He's not. I'm incorrect on that. 6'4", 330. I don't know. I think he kind of fits. Let's see what Buffalo does. They've traded. And the Packers are going up. Who will the Packers take? At 27. We are just about 6 picks away. 5 after the Packers. Brzee, Dan Vasco. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate that. Thank you for being here. Green Bay. Nolan Smith making the move up for Nolan Smith. Some pass rush help there. Yeah, I almost don't want to take him because I'm so butchering his name, and now I'm overthinking about his name and mispronouncing it. So that makes me sound very amateurish, and I apologize, and I will work on that for Monday. Danny Young, this feels more exciting than the regular draft. Yeah, I mean, hopefully I kind of make it fun, make it interactive, and try to read as many comments as possible. Wish I could read them all, but there are just simply so many, which I'm very thankful for. But just too many to read. But I try to check this out as much as possible. I'm seeing like different things. People are saying different pronunciations of Brzee, but we'll go Brzee and just say it with confidence, and that's kind of my approach to these things. Jack Campbell at 49. Oh yeah, I could see Jack Campbell. Brzee, Brian Brzee. Dave is helping me out here with the phonetics, so thank you for that. There's always that one name that I struggle with, and of course, it's one that's going to be talked about a lot in Pittsburgh. All right. The Bengals on the clock for their first pick. You got Brzee. You got some of these top offensive linemen. We will check out Dawan Jones, Darnell Wright, top tackles, John Michael Schmitz, top interior offensive linemen, and your off-ball linebackers in Trenton Simpson, Drew Sanders. That's probably our short list right now of Simpson, Sanders, the top tackles, the top interior offensive linemen, and Brzee. So that's the list we're going to work off of right now. We'll just check corner here really quick with Forbes and Ringo. Drew Sanders, that pass rush. Pittsburgh doesn't blitz their off-ball linebackers quite as much as they used to, although that could change with Sanders. The Bengals on the clock. Who do they take? 3. And the pick is in. And the Bengals at 28 select Dalton Kincaid, tight end, Utah. Second tight end off the board. Some people view him as the best tight end in this class. Michael Mayer going earlier to Seattle. And now Dalton Kincaid as we close out on round 1, 29, 30, 31. And then it is Pittsburgh, top of the second round. Mark Miller, not happy with the Addison pick. Never going to get a winner across the board. So I'm sorry for that. I think last year we took Kenny Pickett, I want to say, in this edition. So we'll see if we can go. I think we took Najee Harris the year before. So I think we are. I think the Steelers just watch our mock and they just draft accordingly, if I'm remembering correctly. Logan, Darnell Wright at 32, Brent's at 49, Benton at 80. Yeah, so this is our list right now. Brzee, top tackles, and Jones and Wright, Schmitz, and the linebackers in Simpson and Sanders. Let me know who you guys think we should take. And we'll see what the Saints do. We'll see what the board has for us. Pretty quiet on the trade front. We'll check the chat here briefly. It's like KC was going to take Kincaid, and so they got to pivot here. Right, Dawan Jones, Schmitz, not Sanders, more of an edge player. Pittsburgh could use help with both. Simpson, not liking the hybrid, says ultimate elite. Who would I have taken with Addison? I don't even know. I'm not even sure who I would have taken there, to be honest. So I'm good with Addison. The Saints, the pick is about to be in. And the Saints select. Is there a trade trying to come in? What are the Saints doing? Actually, the Saints might be one of those GM-less teams there, I think. So we'll see who they take. And there he goes. Brian Brzee. Thank you, New Orleans, so I can stop saying his name. Thank you. And a trade is in. Looks like the Cardinals are moving up. So a trade has come in. Mason says, sad day, bad day. And the Cardinals know who they want. Arizona takes Keely Ringo from Georgia. Pittsburgh is on deck. Kansas City, and then it is round 2 with Pittsburgh. It's going to be Simpson, Sanders, the top tackles, and Dawan Jones, Darnell Wright, and John Michael Schmitz. You guys put one of those names in the chat and tell me who we're taking. Those are going to be the finalists to try to narrow this thing down a little bit. We got a pretty good split here. A lot of Simpson, a couple Sanders, some Wright. I don't know who's taken. I don't know what we're going to do right here. Let's see. Does Kansas City change things up? They wanted a tight end. Do they stay offensive skill position with the receiver at tight end? It is really split right now, honestly. I'm seeing Wright, Simpson, Sanders. 475 here in the chat. I don't know which way we're going to go. Don't know which way we're going to go. This one, if you put a poll to it, it'd be really close. $5 super chat from Ian Watson. Thank you, Ian. No message there. Appreciate you donating all the same. Schmitz, yeah, Simpson, a lot of Trenton Simpson. I see a lot of that right now. Sanders is closely behind. What about this offensive line, though? Pittsburgh has not drafted an offensive or defensive lineman in the top 2 rounds since 2012. That seems unacceptable to me. So do I make an executive decision here on the offensive line? Dawan Jones, Darnell Wright, the linebacker, Simpson, and the Steelers are on the clock. We got to close out of this to see who Kansas City took. They take Keon White. So the board is open for the Pittsburgh Steelers. We are on the clock right now. Who are we taking? Trenton Simpson, Drew Sanders, top offensive lineman, and Dawan Jones, Darnell Wright, John Michael Schmitz. Probably not going to be John Michael Schmitz right now. You guys tell me. You guys decide who we're taking in this draft. Wright, Jones, Sanders, Simpson. John Pell says Wright. It's a lot of Darnell Wright in here. I'm seeing a lot. This one's really pretty split, though. It's really evenly split. No trades coming in right now. We're going to stand pat at the pick at the top of the second round and ring in the second round. This one's really close. This one is closer than the first round pick was for sure. End of the day, though, I go back to that stat about not having an offensive or defensive lineman the first 2 rounds since 2012. I think that has to change. I think you got to go offensive line here. There is a need, a consideration there. Do you kick one of these guys inside? Potentially. And I see the chat here pretty clear. Not pretty clear, but I see a pretty common name here. A trade offer has come in. Hold on. 2 second round. Wait, we get 2 second round picks to get a third. All right, real quick here on this trade offer, guys. What do you think? We got 25 seconds on this trade, getting a pair of second-round picks. I don't know if I love that. No, we're going to reject it. It's a decent offer. All right, guys. I'm going with offensive line here. I'm going Darnell Wright. We got to add this offensive line. We got to upgrade. Wright might kick inside, play along the interior for us. And the Steelers take Darnell Wright, the tackle from Tennessee. Where it fits is a little unclear potentially, as Houston immediately gets their pick in. Right, probably more right tackle. You know, you could in theory shift a core 4 over. There are some options there. And Jalen Hyatt goes here with the second pick in the second round to Houston. And the Eagles pick is in. I wanted that big nasty guy. I'll comment more here in a second. Eagles taking Elijah Cansey from Pitt. So the second round humming here pretty quickly. I saw a lot of, Trenton Simpson, Drew Sanders, and those are solid picks. I really kind of felt like Hart was in offensive line at that point. And you got to get those big guys up front. Still going to be a run-oriented team next year. You want some guys that really create that first-level movement that gets Najee in space, create some of those more explosive runs, because Najee, his skill set naturally is not going to do a lot of that. And so ultimately, I think there's still a question about the fit right and how this offensive line looks, but again, just this team has ignored the trenches so much. O-line, D-line the last decade with Andy Weidel, a former offensive guard at Villanova. That's going to change. So there you go. Darnell Wright is the pick. And I could have gone John Michael Schmitz there and moved him over to guard, and that's certainly tempting as well. So I'm could have certainly considered that too. But I didn't feel like there was a lot of interest in the chat about that, so I was trying to hedge between what the chat wanted with a lot of Darnell Wright and what kind of I felt made sense. So that's the pick there, saying Wright played some left tackle. Yeah, I think you can. There's some versatility to be had there, which is good to be able to see how this thing configures, how it all lines up. All right. Jets on the clock, and we are back on at 18. I would consider trading down here. I would consider trading down right here. I think if we could pick up an extra third, that would be a lot of fun. So we'll see what happens here in a little bit. Go back to the top players as the Jets get their pick in. The Jets take. John Michael Schmitz. There he goes. A guy I'm personally high on. And if I was running this board solely, might have him overwrite. And a very good pick there by Rich for the Jets. Top players on the board. Guys we were strongly considering in Trenton Simpson, in Drew Sanders. There's also Emmanuel Forbes, Clark Phillips, some of the DBs showing up here. Darnell Washington, the tight end. A fun pick to consider. Rams with their computer GM on the clock. Mike's not happy with this draft. I'm sorry, Mike. Jay, what do I like about Wright? Just the size, the run blocking. You know, a guy that's going to be tough to get around, trying to beat the edge. But a guy that I think I would like a bit better at guard. There was a report Pittsburgh was kind of considering and looking at him at offensive guard. John Pell says Caillou Blue in the 4th round. We'll see. We'll see. SSUN City. I wanted Drew Sanders. He's going to be a future Pro Bowler. Jacob wants JL Skinner at 80. The safety, the big long safety from Boise State. Yeah, I'll be doing my own mock draft at some point here. I've done a Senior Bowl one so far. We'll do another. I'm not even sure when, but there'll be one for sure. Post free agency, definitely one post free agency, probably one before free agency as well. Gustavo still on that Julius Brents train. Hey, I'm with you. I don't mind that. All right, let's see what the Rams do. And the Rams will take. Oh, who are they taking here? Give it 1 second to load in. And the Rams take Isaiah Foskey from Notre Dame. All right, I'm going to let the room know I'm strongly considering moving down. And let me do that. Pick is in. Seattle taking Siaki Ika from Baylor. The big hulking man in the middle. Certainly would have looked good in Pittsburgh, and his name's been talked about a fair amount. Top players on the board here remaining the same. Trenton Simpson, the top one overall. Ringo feels like a Tomlin pick. Go get Sanders. Yeah. Does he fall? Will one of these guys fall? Potentially. Ringo is still available. We'll look at the top corners for you guys. Emmanuel Forbes. Actually, is Ringo here? No, wait. Ringo might be gone. I'm sorry. I misspoke. Ringo is gone. He went at 30. That was, I think, as we were getting ready for our pick, and they traded up or traded down. I think Arizona did. Something happened there. And I was kind of missing some of those picks there. Derek Hall, yeah, some edge. I mean, you guys know me about edge. I hate to leave this draft without an edge rusher at all. Derek Hall, Will McDonald, a little bit lighter. Andre Carter, the big guy from Army, his status a bit unclear. Yeah, Derek Hall looks like a good one. What about defensive lineman? Zach Harrison. Yeah, the edge guys, not the best, but yeah, we got Ojulari from LSU. A lot of ways this thing could go. Still a lot of needs for this team. Again, before free agency makes this a little bit more challenging, but also more interesting to do. As the Raiders are on the clock. Could they go with an off-ball linebacker? I could see that here. Depth is going to be important behind Highsmith and Watt. Look how this defense tanked without TJ Watt last year. And a trade. The Bengals are moving up. Cincinnati going up. And who are they taking? Jermaine Pratt, a free agent. Still have Logan Wilson there. Pick is in. And the Bengals are selecting Dawan Jones. And they get their offensive line help. That's good value, I think, overall. Several picks into the second round. Tight end, not a huge need, but what if this offense transformed from 11 personnel to 12 personnel? In theory, you could do that and still stick to your run game. And then you would need that number 2 tight end to play 600, 700 plus snaps. Each team should do it this way, says Austin. Carolina making a quick pick. And Darnell Washington, they go with the big tight end. Speaking of tight ends in this very strong class. All right. Yeah, I mean, Dakota, certainly the way that I've done this thing out with Addison being in the fold, Pittsburgh would stay in their 11 personnel team, but just in theory for the actual Steelers, just to kind of talk about it more academically, just a thought there. Simpson for me, yeah, we were looking at those guys, and man, someone might fall, Simpson or Sanders. Edge is a consideration as well. Thoughts on Herbig from John Easley, 80. Never sleep on Wisconsin linebacker. Yeah, I have not really watched him yet, so to be honest with you. I don't have a lot of insight there, but a fair point on the Wisconsin linebackers. Who are the good corners? Says Run By You, the top corners. Not seen a corner go in a little bit. Emmanuel Forbes by far the top name. What if he slips? I don't think he will slip, but we'll watch it. Clark Phillips, Deontay Banks, Caillou Blue Kelly, Julius Brent still sneaking down there, kind of hiding. You got to scroll a bit to find him. All right, let's see what the Saints do. And the Saints, are they considering a trade? No, that's computer pick, so they're going to take every single second here. So appreciate you guys being here with me. 10 seconds left to go for New Orleans. And New Orleans will take. Check availability on the big board. We'll do that after this pick, still Pastor. And the Saints take Antonio Johnson, the first safety off the board, unless Brian Branch is considered a safety, out of A&M. Big board, there's the big board. Pretty much unchanged right now. Thoughts on Zach Harrison? I watched him. He really beat Jalen Duncan. He's a little bit of a tweener, though. Probably a better 4-3 guy. A little bit of an awkward system fit. As there's Drew Sanders going to Tennessee. Solid pick there. Thoughts on Jack Campbell from Iowa? Ian Watson, $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Yeah, I like Jack Campbell. Good size, can play the run, good instincts. Maybe a bit tight-hipped. I think Jack Campbell, somewhere on day 2, is someone I've thought about for quite some time. Excited for the Combine, says Dakota. Yeah, I'm excited. Any position group that I'm looking forward to. The trenches, because there will be such an eye on that. The cornerback room is really competitive. Can any guy, it looks like they separate themselves a bit. I think corner top to bottom throughout not just round 1, but day 2 is really intriguing. So probably those names. All right, Cleveland. Hey, the Browns are here. They make their pick. And there goes B.J. Ojulari. Nice pick there for Cleveland. Robert Anderson says, this is fun. Yeah, this is a lot of fun. Mike Hand, not a big fan of Jack Campbell. So, yeah, but, do you go overcorrect and say any athletic linebacker's a version of Devin Bush? So there's that line here. Colts making their pick. The Colts take Steve Avila, the interior offensive lineman from TCU. Pittsburgh coming up here. Again, still strongly considering trade downs. If I can move down a couple spots, pick up a third-round pick. Willing to come up here with 214. Dalvin Cook is being shopped by Minnesota. Yeah, think about the draft. Hard to get everybody. Can't get everybody. But a lot of fun to see. Again, our picks so far, Jordan Addison and Darnell Wright. Addison in the first, Wright top of the second. Going 3 rounds tonight. 3-round mock draft. Brenton says Kansas wants to talk with me. Brandon says we need a run stopper. No draft Forbes, no trade, says David Muse. We'll see what the board looks like. I'd be surprised if Forbes fell to us. If he does, it'll be interesting. Does the guy from Minnesota know he's actually not trading Dalvin Cook? I guess you can trade players theoretically. I don't know what the incentive for other GMs is, but that's possible. Brent, Seattle on the clock again. And there goes Derek Hall, the edge from Auburn. A solid pick there for Seattle. And yeah, the edge guys maybe looking a little bit weaker right now. I like KJ Henry from Clemson. And Pittsburgh coming up here pretty soon. So let me know who you're thinking about. Again, I'm still looking to potentially trade down. Brent's not off the board, Jalen. Yeah, Seattle's having a nice draft. Richardson was a surprise at 5, but I think it's a good draft overall. Addison, 40 time. I think we'll probably run high 4.4s, low 4.5s. Voorhees, says Simon. And the Bills take Josh Downs. Like the pick there. Receiver, North Carolina. Really good quickness for his size and frame. Yes, the Baylor guy went, Connor. Does that mean that Dalvin Cook is being shopped around in real life? If only we had that kind of power. Trenton Simpson's still there, top board so far. Let's check out. We'll check out the Patriots pick. And the Pats take. There goes Trenton Simpson. Of course he goes to New England. Detroit on the clock. And, oh, wow. What's happening here? Okay. Washington took Clark Phillips. All right, Pittsburgh, we're on deck. We're coming up here really quickly. Emmanuel Forbes still there. Hard to pass on the talent of Emmanuel Forbes unless Detroit comes in. Other names, Keanu Benton is there. Edge, probably nothing worthwhile. Off-ball linebacker. Just lost the top names there. Jack Campbell is still there. Safety. What do we got at safety? Not much there at safety right now. Jordan Battle. Forbes. Or trade down. We did make that call out to trade down. Will we get any offers in? KC wants to send an offer. Hold on, I got to talk to KC. Oh, this one's going to get interesting. Kansas City trying to talk with me. Where is Kansas City at? Oh, they're pretty far down. They're at 32. Detroit on the clock, though. Detroit starts this thing. Benton, no trade. Forbes, no offers in right now. I told the KC guy, obviously, I can't really check Twitter DMs, live streaming, all that type of stuff right now. What does Detroit do? What if they take Forbes, though? You got to listen to these offers. If not Forbes, top tight ends. Luke Musgrave missed last year with an injury. Already took offensive line. John Pell, $2 super chat, wants D-line. Board's not falling great for us right now. But can Emmanuel Forbes be there, or will the Lions steal him? Lions already took Witherspoon. Fair point, yeah, that's a good point, but who knows? Maybe they're that guy in a fantasy draft where they take all running backs, just to mess with you. Detroit, the pick. And they take, drum roll, they got to make a pick. Or Steelers are on the clock. We'll see who the Lions take. Benton, Campbell, Nick Herbig, who was asked about earlier. And now it's Pittsburgh. Will McDonald, Forbes. What trade offers do we get? I put out that call for trade offers. Forbes, Campbell, top names on the board right now are Forbes, Musgrave, Banks, the edge from Kansas State. Cody Mock is still there. I know he took an offensive lineman. Keanu Benton, he's my guy. Forbes. I just think the value is too strong here. I'm really surprised he's fallen. Will an offer come in, though, before I make my decision? Rejected a couple of trades so far. Forbes, Benton, missed on Drew Sanders. 1 minute left until our pick. Who am I going to take? It's already been Jordan Addison, Darnell Wright, already an offensive-heavy, focused draft. Not getting an offer in right now. Do we go? Who do we go with here? How about a kicker? Who wants a kicker right now? Michael Turk. He's been booming. I'm kidding. Has to be D-line, says Aiden. A lot of Jack Campbell, a lot of Forbes. I'm not getting the trade offer. The value's too strong. I got to go Emmanuel Forbes here. I got to go defense. I got to go secondary, add corner, get depth, nickel packages. We're drafting Emmanuel Forbes. What a pick in the second round. That's a potential day one kind of guy. Emmanuel Forbes, corner, Mississippi State. That's the pick here with our second selection in the second round. I mean, that value to me, you just can't pass that up. With Cam Sutton, the uncertainty, even if you have Cam Sutton back, you could have three corners deep. Sutton might kick inside. Someone gets hurt. Wallace, Sutton, Forbes, James Pierre gets tendered, brought back. Witherspoon, we'll see what happens to him. I gotta go Forbes. Somebody asked me best long snapper in this class. I know that was a joke, but the answer probably is, I think, a fellow Alex Ward from UCF at the Senior Bowl. I would say Alex Ward, the best long snapper. Only pick I like so far. Hey, that's what drafting's about. You get a lot of criticism, but that's fair. Forbes, though, just can't pass up on that talent. Just can't do it there. Didn't get that trade offer in. I was really considering going down, but not when a guy like Forbes was on the board. And Tampa Bay taking Deonte Banks from Maryland. Atlanta on the clock. We have one pick left. Do we trade up? Do we go up and get somebody? Edge is something I've talked about a lot. I'd love to get an edge player coming out of this draft. Defensive line, though, which to me was the biggest need, and I've yet to address that. So, maybe shame on me for that. But Mazzie Smith, Benton, Zach Harrison, again, kind of that tweener. Got the Byron Young tandems there. Carl Brooks, a combine snub. Zach Pickens, production pretty light. KJ Henry. Do like KJ Henry. Tim, this is a 3-round draft. This will be, just one more pick left. I thought we'd make some trades. I was surprised we didn't make a trade there. But Falcons pick is in. Atlanta taking Eli Ricks, corner from Alabama. So pretty strong corner run. So I think, obviously, a lot of teams who probably wanted Forbes, and we get him there. I think it's probably our best value pick so far. Captain Spartan says Benton. Mark Miller says Benton. Do you make a trade up here, potentially? Go get your guy. Although, what do we have to offer a team? We have no picks in this draft to use, unfortunately. So, if I gave a guy, we have no 5th round or 6th round pick. If I give a future pick, it means nothing to the other GMs. Thank you, Christopher, on Forbes. Thank you. Yeah, that one kind of fell into my lap. I really thought he was going to be gone. I'm glad he was there, though, because I really don't know who I would have taken otherwise. Offer up Mitch. Yeah, Mitch Trubisky, get out of here. Who wants him? Nobody? All right, Mitch stays. That's how that conversation goes. Yeah, how about Henley from Washington State, former receiver, really good athlete, a little bit of like light Fred Warner vibes. Jack Campbell still there. Ivan Pace, the big squatty blitzer. What else? Let's see, top of the board here, Luke Musgrave. I think Tyler Wise has a report coming up on on Felix here, Uzama. Good effort guy. That could be an option if Benton, is an option certainly as well. But the draft recap so far, Jordan Addison at 17, followed by Darnell Wright, top of the second round, and then Emmanuel Forbes with our other original second round pick. Miami, they will take Will McDonald, the edge from Iowa State. Left school, tied as the Big 12's all-time sack leader. Mike, thoughts on Aubrey Miller? I like him. I think James Houston, they play different positions, but, got a lot of attention for what he did with Detroit the back half of this year. Miller undersized a little bit, but a big hitter, super physical, 100 tackles each of the last 2 years. Was a big recruit coming out, went to Missouri, had some injuries, transferred. I mean, he was forcing 2 or 3 fumbles in Senior Bowl practices. You force one, you had a great week. You force a couple, really intense guy, but a soft-spoken dude as well. So I do like Aubrey Miller. Strong draft so far, says C. Bizzle. Thank you. Yeah, I like it overall. Would this be my exact 3 picks if I was drafting by myself? I don't know about that. But it's a lot of fun to draft with you guys. Thank you for being here. Consistently around 500 people early on, 358 right now. So, again, a lot of draft content coming for you guys. We're going to hold that thought as the Chargers pick is it. Tank Dell, little tiny receiver out of Houston. Tank Dell going to the Chargers. Kind of a Darren Sproles-ish, but obviously an established receiver, but just kind of that really fun space player. I lost my thought earlier of what I was talking about. Has Max Morris already gone? No, I don't believe so, Jack. What number is our third? It's 80 overall. I don't even know exactly where we're at here. We're at, I don't know where we're at here. 55, 57. Yeah, he's not like, I shouldn't say Darren Sproles, obviously running back, different position. Just in that, I was thinking Chargers, small guy, space guy, explosive, big playmaker. But obviously, they're different skill sets and body types. Calvin Austin-ish type is Tank Dell. Mazzy, Chelsea wants Mazzy Smith. Yeah, I really got to look at D-line here, just given the need. And free agency is not going to offer much if you just kind of consider that here for a moment. So that's kind of what we're going to be looking at. I kind of scroll through some of these names. Not the best. It's not a great D-line class to me, though, in terms of more of those interior type guys and less of the edge rusher types. So that's just a challenge for us and a challenge in real life. Tyler Boyd available. Ravens want to go up. Orlando Brown. Apparently, someone's not a fan of Orlando Brown. Bears on the clock here, who got things started by trading down with the Colts. Colts taking C.J. Stroud at 1. And Chicago pick is it. And there it goes. Felix Uzama from Kansas State. I really want that edge guy. I'm just not seeing the names right now. I'm a big fan of Derek Hall, but you do understand other considerations. I don't think edge is a luxury, though. Just the depth is so poor, rotational guys, and somebody gets hurt. Alex Highsmith, I think a deal gets done this summer, but if it doesn't, then he's a pending free agent. And, Quincy Roche can't be the number 3. Jameer Jones can't be the number 3. Maybe you go with a free agent. I'd rather draft somebody that's cheaper, younger, Bud Dupree, a reunion there. I could see that happening. I don't know if I would love it. Dude's already 30, but it is a good scheme fit. I knew when he left Tennessee whenever he left Pittsburgh to Tennessee, that schematically he was not going to get the benefits he got in Pittsburgh. But anyway, that's a whole nother conversation. Andre Carter. Is Carter officially eligible for the draft? I know there's that bill, and does he have to go, fulfill his military obligations? I don't even know Carter's status if that's all been settled. I think he was even a bit unsure about what the outlook was there. Comps for my picks here, I'm not even sure. I had a comp for Addison. I forget who it was. A little Calvin Ridley, I think. hopefully without the FanDuel account. Henley, yeah, I think Henley's an interesting guy. We have not taken an inside linebacker, so that's something else to. I feel like this team has a lot of holes, a lot of things that I would like to address. But that's how every draft goes. You're just not gonna do it all, and of course you would assume you have your re-signings and your free agents. Carter's eligible. Okay, officially eligible. Great, thank you. As he should be. I'm glad to hear that. Detroit on the clock. Lions take. I've seen his tape. I'm not going to pronounce the name here. He's a pretty good power rusher. Russ Obenstein in the chat. Got in late, much to my dismay, so got to catch up. Catch you up here, Russ. Jordan Addison, our pick at 17. Darnell Wright, the tackle from Tennessee, top of the second round. Then Emmanuel Forbes falling into our lap midway through the second round. Wesley Hickok says, thanks for doing this, Alex. Thank you. And thank you to Walk the Mock for inviting me and basically holding that Steelers GM spot for me. Appreciate that. Top off-ball linebackers in a moment after the Jags make their pick. Jalen Duncan, the tackle from Maryland, who I've comped to Chukwuma Okorafor. I think he needs a year, redshirt year kind of guy. Noah Sewell, the Panay's brother, I think, right? The other name here with them struggling to pronounce Henry. How do you say it? Toa? Something like that. It's kind of like Talkie from Cleveland. Jack Campbell, Henley, Overshawn. Still some solid inside linebackers. Something to certainly consider. D-line, Mazzie Smith, Dexter from Florida, Zach Harrison, not quite what I'm looking for. And then, where is Keanu Benton? He's in our nose tackle. Yeah, Keanu Benton as well. Will he get to us? I can send some offers to trade up. I'd trade up for one of those guys, but I don't think that anyone's going to take it because I can just trade mythical picks all I want. You know, if I was given future picks that don't matter, it looks good, I guess, for the draft, but doesn't actually help us, take players. So that's going to be difficult to that's kind of one reason why I wanted to trade down with that original second round pick, but Forbes just couldn't pass him up. Didn't get any offers in anyway. Addison at 1, explained that. The chat really seemed to want Addison to reunite Pickett and Addison, obviously. I can see the value in the slot, adding weapons, improving this offense. Let me start over. Would that be my pick at 17? No, I don't think so. But I get the rationale, and I'm leaning on my scouts here, so it's not fun if you guys are in the chat, then I just ignore all your suggestions and just do what I want to do. I can do that whenever I want. This is fun to get all you guys involved. You guys taking the time to hang out with me. Voorhees, yeah, probably not with an offensive lineman already, as the Giants will make their pick. Yeah, it is the way the draft kind of fell, though, Steele. I'm with you there. And the Giants take Tyreek Stevenson from the U. I saw at the Senior Bowl, Tomlin talking with Stevenson a bit, kind of had a little high five, and they kind of felt like they knew each other a little bit from somewhere along the way. A pro day, growing up, I don't know, but they seemed like they kind of knew each other. We need more than one offensive lineman in this draft. Yeah, probably would be a later round pick. We'll look at it. We'll look at it. Dallas pick is in. And Keyshawn Butte, how you say that? Yes, I see Addison primarily. He can play different spots, but primarily slot. That is who asked that? Jay. Does Ivan Pace remind you of Vince Williams? Yeah, that chip on his shoulder, squatty body, really good blitzer. I mean, Pace is one of the best blitzing off-ball linebackers in the draft. So, yeah, I could see some of that Vince Williams. Pace is a bit shorter, but yeah, I can see that. Not the year to trade back. Yeah, I understand. That just depends on offers. It's hard to put that in a vacuum. What picks did KC offer us for 32? Never got an offer from KC. The two we've gotten, we had an offer in the second round to give up our second round pick here. Actually, our original second round pick, I think. What was the offer here? I forget which is which here. Yeah, give up our original second, a third, and a future third to go up. And then with Detroit, that actually was a decent deal, giving up our second, third, seventh for 2 seconds, but rejected both of those. All right, Buffalo on the clock. Yeah, pace is more niche. It's, hard to see him in a full-time kind of role. So, defensively, can you justify the niche blitzing for everything else? It'd be hard to do. Let's see. Buffalo on the clock. And there's Matthew Bergeron, the tackle from Syracuse, whose family was well represented at the Senior Bowl this year. The Bergerons were there, and that was cool to see them support him. Danny, happy with the draft. Thank you, Danny. Yeah, a lot of fun to do these drafts. Would you guys... I'm trying to think how this would work. You guys want to see another edition of this? This wouldn't be in conjunction with an official Walk the Mock and all the other GMs, but I think there are other mock drafts that we could do, and those would be pretty fun. So you want to see something like this before the draft, since this one is done so early, before free agency. I think it'd be fun for us to get together again. Wouldn't be quite like this with the other GMs probably, but I think a second mock draft to some extent would be a lot of fun for us to do. So if you guys want to see that, let me know in the chat, and keep reminding me of that, because I think sometime in April to do one of these would be pretty cool. Do another post free agency. Yeah, this would not be done until probably April, when the bulk of free agency has occurred, and we kind of have a really good feel for where Pittsburgh their needs truly lie. All right, the Raiders on the clock. Looks like, yeah, Mike, I know you'll be reminding me for sure. We'll do another mock then. Yeah, I figured there'd be interest there. Grant will be my assistant GM. You're all my assistant GMs. You're all my Andy Whiters. The Raiders pick is in. And they take Hendon Hooker from Tennessee. I love this pick. I've not studied him, in depth, but just looking at some of the clips and body type, I think Hendon Hooker should be getting a lot more love. I know he's a bit older, now he has the injury, but I think he's a real sleeper in this class, Hendon Hooker. Carolina, quick pick. They've been making some quick picks today. And there goes Mazzie Smith from Michigan. A little heartbreak city. Patrick, thank you so much. Appreciate you being here, Patrick Brophy. Having a lot of fun, too. Yeah, good pick there by the Raiders. I think Hooker is a steal. Eagles pick is in. And Isaiah McGuire, the pretty stout edge rusher at 270. It's good bend, good power. Draft music gets so loud. I'm sorry, you can maybe turn it down a bit. I turned it down some, but it's good to hear something that isn't me. That's mine. I don't have any... I'll have to maybe add some music, and like C-Bizzle said, we'll figure out polls for next time. Not this time, though. I am bringing the boomer energy on this Sunday. I truthfully don't see an option to do that. I'm sure it's in there, and we'll deal with that some other time. How many picks to 80? Little ways to go. So that is going to be the 17th pick of the third round. So we got one more pick in the second round, and then we will start the final round of this draft. So yeah, this would be 63, 60, or 62, 63, because it was 31 at the top there. I wish I did say like overall. I like having the overalls. Just my mind works better. Yeah, Cody Mock is still up. Let's kind of look at the top guys at each position here. There's your quarterbacks, Tanner McKee. Top running backs, not a great running back class outside of maybe Robinson, some guys at the top. Who's the top fullback? No fullbacks. That's sad. Receivers, Rashee Rice, Parker Washington. Talked about him a little bit earlier. Dontavian Wicks. Tight ends. Big scroll up here. Luke Musgrave. Laporta. I think Daniel Jeremiah is a fan of Laporta. Top offensive lineman, Mock and Voorhees, still available. Consider that. We'll consider that. KC with the pick in. Sidney Brown, like that pick. Got some of those Funga comparisons out there in San Francisco. 7 picks last year, or 6 picks, one of the two, I think 6. Versatile, big hitter, good Senior Bowl week, matching up against some tight ends and man coverage. We'll click through some of the other top names here. Thoughts on Anton Harrison? Yeah, I think Brandon Thorne's a big fan of him. Anything Brandon Thorne says, I really take seriously. So I've been watching some corners lately. I will get back to some of the offensive linemen, though. Defensive linemen here. Benton. Will Benton fall? Will Benton fall? Andre Carter, top edge rusher. Linebackers have gone through them. That might be plan B if defensive line isn't panning out for us. Jordan Battle, J.L. Skinner, some of the top safeties, along with Chris Smith and Jamie Robinson. Top corners, Caillou Blue Kelly, Julius Brents, another name to consider, high on my list. And there's the kickers and punters, and no long snappers, which is a crime. Chicago, trading with Arizona. Arizona's been active today. They're going to go up here to the top of the third round. Yeah, somebody said, or a couple people said that Carter is eligible. Mike Hand says Freeland. Blake Freeland intrigues me. Leaning towards Harrison. He's still out there? Oh, big scroll up. Anton Harrison's not available. Unless you're saying Zach Harrison. You might be saying Zach Harrison. Grades. Let's see. Brian's grades. Addison, B-, Wright, B, Forbes, A. We'll take it. And Arizona. Trading up to get Benton. There it is. I promise I didn't see Benton before it came up. There it is. There's Arizona making. What did they trade? What? Chicago got a 2024 7th round pick? That doesn't seem right. Am I reading this correctly, guys? Arizona, for the top of the third round, getting a next year 7th round pick? I'm reading that right. That's not how that should have gone. That seems to be collusion. And there goes Henley, one of the guys we were looking at. Yeah, that's because I was going to consider trading up. Like I said, what do I have to offer? I have my third round pick and then nothing of value to anybody else. So that's gonna throw a flag on that one, I think. With a player. Yeah, okay, you're right. Did I get a player in there? I'm not seeing anything here. Well, wait. Cardinals are trading DeAndre Hopkins to the Bears for the third pick. Okay. For the third round pick there. All right, my bad. I jumped the gun on that, but it seemed very strange. So thank you, chat. I'm not sure why someone would trade for mythical players that don't do anything for you. I mean, I know this is all theoretical, but all right, fair enough. So D-line, to me, like I said, our biggest need, and here we are, yet to draft it, and I don't really know what else there is to do in terms of trying to address it. I mean, Byron Young, Zach Pickens has the size. The production was light, but he does have really good measurables. And anything, those were all too late. Trade Kendra Green for a ham sandwich. Poor ham sandwich. I think that, anyway, I'm not going to make more jokes. Carter or Campbell, bail on D-line. What do the edges look like, says Ultimate Steeler. Carter, you got the tweener from Northwestern, Byron Young. I like KJ Henry. I would take KJ Henry probably as the top name of these guys. Carter, to me, is just too lean, too tall. I just think the body type's not going to work well in Pittsburgh. Jordan Battle, yeah, it's an option. See what Arizona, back on the clock here. Just trading D-Hop. Will they take receiver? Will they take a receiver after just dealing Hopkins? That would make sense. No, they go Cody Mock. So Mock off the board, a strong value pick in the third round. Would I trade a bunch of third round picks for Daron Payne? Yeah, I would, but I think Washington, they're going to tag him. He's going to stay there in Washington. It's a great pick there. Yeah, really good pick by Arizona. Who are the top receivers? We just looked at them a bit earlier. Hutchinson, Tillman, Washington, Jaden Reed, Yosevos from Princeton. Get a drink of water. Can we check linebacker and edge? I will put up the linebackers here for you. And I will scroll down. Campbell, Overshawn, Pace, Servacha, Dennis. There's the linebackers, and he said edge as well. Let me reset that. There are your top edge guys there, Logan. Our pick coming up here, we got the Giants with back-to-back picks. They're going to use up the entire, actually 3 computer picks, and so they, I think they use up the whole clock here. So we'll be waiting a couple of minutes. 300 people here in the chat. Thank you so much again. Dave, Brian, and I will discuss things tomorrow on the Terrible Podcast about these picks. So if you want to hear more of a recap and Dave's thoughts as well, be sure to check out the Terrible Podcast. Check out Steelers Depot. Even if you guys aren't Steelers fans, and I imagine most of you are, but if you aren't, if you just kind of happen to come in here to watch this, we do a ton of draft profiles. We're going to do over 200 this year, well over 200. And so if you want to get some draft analysis, just in general, check out Steelers Depot. Should grab a linebacker. Russ Forbes is a cornerback. Giants, Noah Sewell from Oregon. So there goes one of the off-ball guys. We're looking at Campbell. We're looking at Jack Campbell, I think, right now for the off-ball guys. Defensive line looking really light right now. Just not seeing anything there. Looking to trade back. Everyone's looking to trade back. Everybody wants that last pick there. Try to get something to plug those holes. Is Sanders available? Who are you talking about, Russ? Sanders? Drew Sanders? No. Corbin or Dexter? So some D-line thoughts here. Dexter. Tell me about Dexter. I don't know much about Jervon Dexter. Tell me about his game, what you like, what you don't like. Christopher, I'm not a huge Campbell fan, but that's probably a nice pick if he's there at 80. We got Tommy asking about the tight ends. Luke Musgrave, he's fallen quite a bit. Had that injury, but he was healthy to play in the Senior Bowl. I think he was the fastest tight end at the Senior Bowl. Now, Kincaid was supposed to go, and then he had that injury, I think, late that caused him to bail. Payne Durham had a good week down there. Who is the last player on their board? Let's see who the last player on the board is. If I can scroll down. Tanner McAllister from Ohio State. So there you go. See what the Giants do. What specific seconds were offered for 32? We'll check that after this pick comes in. We'll look at the trade offers we got. And the Giants are taking a running back. We got 2 trade offers from the Colts and the Lions. Kansas City was talking to me, trying to DM me. My DMs are closed to the public because I want to keep my sanity. So he couldn't send me something. I wouldn't be able to see it that well anyway. Never got an offer officially from KC. I thought the Lions offer was tempting. Ultimately declined it to take Forbes because Forbes if Forbes wasn't there, I probably would have taken that Lions offer. All right, thank you, Logan, for the info. Ross Swisher, not a fan of my draft. He's not too happy there. I got right at least in the second round. So we addressed trenches, and what a pick that was to get for Chase Claypool. I still can't get over that deal. Too early for PJ Mustipher. Josh Carney probably say do it. Probably a bit too early though. Okay, Dexter. Frankly, a guy that I have not studied much. Yeah, Ross Swisher, not a fan. He's not liking. I'm going to say you're not going to give the Addison pick there an A. Dexter is not fast. I don't think he has to be fast. But it sounds like size, strength, raw. So can he contribute day one is going to be the concern there. Rams pick, and we will be here in about 11 picks. It'll be Pittsburgh on the clock for our last one. Calvin Austin. Yeah, I don't want to discount Austin, but somebody else gets hurt. Receivers are always going to get hurt. I mean, I'm not letting Austin's presence stop me from considering receiver. But again, when I take Addison 17 personally, I doubt it. And the Rams will take Zach Harrison from Ohio State. C+ draft so far. That's harsh, but fair. How happy am I to have Omar Khan as my GM? I mean, we'll see. It's his first full year. I mean, I think he's a smart guy. You know, obviously has that maybe different perspective than Colbert, but still being that in-house guy that knows how Pittsburgh's run, being around Kevin Colbert for 20 years. I think he's still a football junkie the way that Colbert and Tomlin are, even though he's kind of always been thought of as the cap guy. Seeing him go to the HBCU Combine and Legacy Bowl, I know he's from New Orleans, so it was kind of him going back home, but only GM to be there, guys that put in the work. That was Kevin Colbert going to as many pro days as possible. He went to Duke last year when he only GM to go, just because he loves this stuff and loves seeing those guys in person. But hopefully that maybe new analytical-minded flair with Andy Weidel. I like the pairing, but we'll see. It just depends on how they draft. All that matters are results. And yeah, Khan initially got in scouting, coaching with the Saints, and then went to the business side when Pittsburgh hired him in 2001. Solid B so far. Yasin versus Sutton. I'll take Sutton, but I could see Rock Yasin being a name. Sign Puna Ford in free agency. Yeah, I like it. Raiders. Pick is in. Brandon Joseph from Notre Dame. Who's better, Battle or Skinner? I'll lean Battle with some more scheme versatility. Probably a better athlete. Battle to me is just super inconsistent, and if he can just trust his instincts more, he'll be a really good player. B draft from Mega Channel Rocks, solid overall. Thank you. Eagles making their pick. And Luke Weipler. Yeah, Musgrave's not going to fall this slow unless his medicals are really bad, which I don't think they will be. Let's see. Branch went in the first round, I think. Yeah, he's 19 to Tampa. Andrew Voorhees. I like him more at guard than tackle. See what the top DBs are. Julius Brent's still out there. That's a good value pick. But obviously with us taking Forbes, really can't justify Brent's. If you want to make sure, pick it as targets. That's I see you guys are talking there. The tackles available. Voorhees is still there. Top defense lineman. Dexter. You got Roy. Byron Young from Alabama, not the Tennessee kid. Titans pick is it. As we are marching on to our final pick. And Rasheed Rice, SMU, goes to Tennessee. Mark Miller, best player available. Zach Pickens, a solid, yeah. Zach Pickens, I wouldn't hate that. I just worry about production being light, but he's got better measurables. He's a lankier type, bit skinnier than Keanu Benton, but I mean the guy's 6'5", 300 plus pounds with 33, 34-inch arms. So that's a Steelers type that's hard to find. So Zach Pickens, I will consider that in the third round, just because of that scarcity factor of the body type. But also considering some of the edge guys. In KJ Henry, probably the only name I would consider there right now. Maybe the guy from LSU. We just had a profile on him go up. And then the off-ball linebackers in Jack Campbell. Buffalo taking Chris Smith. We're going to make a few safeties to go off the board, second or third. Not a great safety class, which is a good reason to re-sign Terrell Edmonds, given the safety class looking pretty rough. Tommy likes Carl Brooks from Bowling Green, the combine snub. They took kind of like Kevin Dotson when he was that big combine snub, and he was the first non-combine player drafted. Late round edge as a Mike Morris. That's from J.J. Figueroa. Right will bring much nasty to the line, says Russ. Jaylen Brown wants Dexter. I'll have to really lean on the scouts there because I just couldn't tell you anything. Obviously, you guys have informed me on Dexter, but beforehand, I really had nothing known there. Colts traded their pick to the Eagles. Eagles are going up for who? Who's Harry Roseman want? A running back to replace Miles Sanders. A lot of picks, a lot of movement here from the Eagles lately. We are coming up here at 80 for our last pick of the draft. So yeah, start getting suggestions in. We're going to narrow it down a bit here to Dexter from Florida, the big defensive lineman. We'll go Jack Campbell from Iowa as an option. Who else will I put on the board here? I'm going to go Zach Pickens, Zach Pickens as well. So Dexter, Pickens, Campbell, and then KJ Henry, the edge from Clemson. It's going to be one of those four names. You guys tell me who. My unscientific approach of eyeballing it will determine who the pick is. And who is the pick for Atlanta? Cedric Tillman from Tennessee. It's like Jack Campbell might be up there. Voorhees I like, but I'm not going to include him there in the finalists. It's got to be one of the four names that I mentioned. Otherwise, it'll be so wide-ranging, I'll never be able to kind of make heads or tails. The chat just crashed, and we're back. Looks like Campbell. I thought there's more Zach Pickens there than I thought. Maybe people just want another Pickens. But I think there's real value in that as the chat's starting to... you guys are breaking the chat in a very good way. I'll scroll back up here to the top prospects. Of course, these guys have to make it to Pittsburgh, and there are still 4 selections until we turn in the card. Picks so far, Jordan Addison, receiver from USC, and of course Pitt at 17, Donnell Wright at 32. The tackle probably may kick inside the guard for us from Tennessee, and Emmanuel Forbes, the corner from Mississippi State at 49. One more pick in this draft. That'll be pick 80 in just a moment. Be New England, Miami, Buffalo, and Houston before the Steelers are on the clock. Raphael says to go back in time and redo the Addison pick. He dislikes it so much he wants to create time travel for the purpose of fixing it. Patriots, Andre Carter. Bill Belichick loves him, a military man. They have that in their long snapper in Joe Cardona. Belichick, he went to Navy, him and his dad, I think, right? There's a connection there, obviously. Dolphins, quick pick. And they want Luke Musgrave to not use him the way that Mike Gesicki is not used. So that's the plan there. All right, we're coming up here. Our guys are still all on the board. Dexter, Pickens, Campbell, and who was the other one that I said? Dexter, Campbell, Pickens, and KJ Henry. Those will be... one of those 4 names will be available. And one of those 4 names will become a Pittsburgh Steeler in this Walk the Mock draft. Got Buffalo and Houston ahead of us. Who has Buffalo taken? They've taken a receiver, a tackle, and a safety. Oh, I got to scroll back down. And Houston has taken a quarterback, an edge, a receiver, and a linebacker. I assume no trade offers will come in. John, I narrowed it down to a few to just kind of make a better way to figure out who you guys want me to take. Just because if I said the whole board's open, I would get 20 different names. And to have a little bit of a narrowing down kind of helps me figure out who to take. Because you guys will determine our pick here. Henry, yeah, some people. Okay, Gerald really wants the names I can't pronounce that well that I'm staying away from. And how do you say it? Toa? Brents, Julius Brents. Yeah, if we hadn't taken a corner before, I think I would have gone corner. I think Buffalo might have just gone off-ball linebacker. I don't know. I just saw the board shift there. There goes Jack Campbell. I knew I saw. This changes. You can see it change right before the graphic comes up. So Jack Campbell off the board. What the actual offer was for 32? I didn't get an offer for 32. If Kansas City try to DM me, you can't DM me unless we follow each other. So I don't think I ever got an actual offer. So now we're down to 3 in Dexter, in Pickens, and in KJ Henry, the edge from Clemson, who is elusive on this list right now. Our last pick of the 2023 official Walk the Mock draft. It was the offer from Detroit. Yeah, I showed this, right? If you guys should have been able to see this, right? These were the 2 offers we had gotten throughout the mock. Yeah, you guys can see that. All right, we are on deck. Houston's pick about to come in. Who will they take? And then we will make our last pick. Just about 30 seconds left. 324 people. You guys are awesome. Really appreciate it, guys. This was a lot of fun. Just seeing this thing grow each year. I know this is always kind of our popular stream that we do. We'll do one more. We're going to do at least one more live mock. It may not be exactly set up like this. It may be more computer driven. But we'll do one more. Maybe go some more rounds. We'll figure it out. But because this one is done so early, pre-free agency, we'll definitely have at least one more crack at it. Jeremy, thank you so much for being here. Yeah, Eric, D-line probably would have to get looked at in free agency, of course. We'll see what happens. All right, last pick before us. Pittsburgh's on the clock. Houston takes Julius Brents. That's a great value pick there. Glad we didn't have a heart set on him. All right. I think we got to go D-line here. As much as I want an edge, it's got to be Dexter or Pickens. These are our D-line choices. Get Dexter, Zach Pickens, which I know might feel like a little early on that, but the body type, I think, is pretty scarce. This one's close. This one is very close in our last minute. We're going to take our time here with this one. Savor this last pick. Jordan Addison, Darnell Wright, Emmanuel Forbes, and the last one here. A lot of Dexter. My thought was Zach Pickens, but I think I said this last pick would be entirely your guys' pick here. I was personally leaning Zach Pickens, but I think, as Ross Swisher said, the consensus seems to be pretty clear on Jervin Dexter, defensive lineman from Florida. He is the pick. We finally get a defensive lineman. Feels like it's a little inadequate, and it sounds like this guy has some rawness to his game, but he will be our final selection of the 2023 Walk the Mock draft. So offense to start, defense to end. That is the way this one has been split up. Still a lot of work to be done. Inside linebacker, edge, areas that were not addressed. but you can't get everything here. Then Addison at the top there, to me, not a supreme need, but something to certainly consider. John Michael Schmitz could have been a fit as well at 32, but that is the pick. Russ, thank you so much for being here. I know you got in a little bit late, but appreciate that you could catch the stream. This will be archived on Steelers Depot tomorrow morning. It'll be reposted. You guys can watch the full version. Of course, we'll be here for a little bit, so we're not done. We'll watch the rest of the draft just to see how it goes, and then we'll recap things. Yeah, do you sign Ogunjobi under these circumstances if hypothetically you knew how the draft was going to go prior to free agency? You might consider that a bit more strongly. So these are the 4 picks. I already see some draft grades in. Give me your draft grade here of these 4 picks: Addison, Wright, Forbes, and Dexter. How would you grade it? And be honest and be ruthless. I can take it. Some C minuses, although just from one man. C Bizzle says, fantastic work, Alex and GM team. Yeah, thank you to my scouts here. Got some B's, B minuses. Looks like a B draft. I would say, yeah, that's fair. I'd probably say B. But again, I'm here to have some fun, interact with you guys, and just enjoy the draft. Can we trade up? Lions taking JL Skinner. State. I don't think anyone would take it. I'm going to try something, and this might be a little cheesy to do, but, that's okay. I'm going to try to trade up with the computer with the Giants. I'll send a second-round pick for next year, because who cares? I'm not sending a 7th. I'm not going to be dumb and send a 7th, but... Oh, it was rejected. Oh, man. I want to trade up with the Giants. I don't even care. I just want to make that trade. That'll be fun. Let's try to do one more pick. Let's see if we can do that. I can't get a... Man, that's harsh. What can I do with the Giants? Maybe we're not done yet. Stay here. Maybe we're not done yet. What else can I give him? How do they not accept that deal? It's a great deal. I'll be dumb. I'm going to be dumb here. Let's sell the farm. Okay. How do they not take that deal? It's a great deal. The Jaguars take Ed from Northwestern, whose name I can't pronounce. Come on, they want 3 first-round picks next year. What can we do? Can we do this? Is there anything I could potentially give them? Somebody traded with the Giants, though. I saw somebody trade with the Giants. Falcons take... Oh, man. Kenny McIntosh. They might reject by default, but I know the Giants have made a trade here. The Giants don't have a GM. It's a computer, so I thought I could actually make a trade with them. Can I trade? Can anything happen to get this done? Yeah, maybe I can't. But I thought I could do something with them because they made a trade. They traded earlier, and they've never had a GM. Yeah, they made a trade here. I thought it'd be fun to make one last surprise pick, get back into this thing. The Dolphins take some running back run here on Spears, the speedster from Tulane. Yeah, they made a trade with Denver. Maybe this will only do a one trade a draft kind of thing. I don't want to. Should I trade all the picks? I don't want to be like that guy, but I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. Would they accept anything? Yeah, I don't think they're going to accept anything. I think it doesn't matter what you send them. There's probably something right now in the system that says they will not accept trades. I'll send offers out to other teams and just see if somebody wants to take a future pick that's nothing, just to see. I mean, worst everybody says is not the Giants. I want Carolina. I'll mess around here. I'm going to focus on this for a second and just see anyone wants to take anything. I mean, I really don't think anyone's going to take this, but if they really want to play this super realistic, then have at it. Yeah, I'm gonna get rejected here. It's gonna be like me on dating apps, rejected across the board. But we're gonna send it and just see if anyone wants to actually do it. We got nothing else to do right now. Try trading Mitch. Yeah, I'd like to. Don't think it's gonna happen. Jordan Battle going to the Chargers. Good pick there. Lions have made a bunch of picks here already. Trade away Pickett. Don't even get the natives restless there, Mike. Yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna do this, but Mason makes sense to the Rams. Yeah, no one's gonna want to do this, and I wouldn't do it either. So I mean, it's hard to blame anybody unless somebody just has to leave. And they're like, all right, we'll just do that deal. All right, I'm not gonna make any more offers. I don't think anyone's gonna accept anything. I thought I could do something with the Giants, but something happened there, and there aren't any other computers drafting. I bet Mason stays. Only way Rudolph stays at all is if his market is nothing and Trubisky's gone. All right, Ravens. What does Baltimore do? What does Baltimore's draft look like? Just one pick? Jackson Smith and Jigba. See what else they do. Just have to find a woman who likes watching all 22. All right, well that doesn't give me much hope. Mitch to Houston for Davis Mills. Let's go. The mid trade. Yeah, Zach Robinson is in LA. That wasn't his quarterback coach though. The Ravens taking DJ Turner, Michigan. But Robinson helped him train for the combine. He went to Oklahoma State. Robinson did before Rudolph, so there's a good relationship there. I don't think he was his quarterback's coach. I'm just trying to think back to when I had talked about that during the season. Buffalo said, good offer, Pittsburgh. We want to make the pick there. Tampa Bay might want to do something. I'll send an offer to Tampa Bay. I mean, I don't know what they're looking for. Minnesota taking Caillou Blue Kelly. A very solid pick. Who did Buffalo end up taking? They picked yet? If I scroll back down. I don't think they picked yet. I just sent an offer to Tampa, who looked like they were doing something. Our trade's been rejected. All right, well, they wanted something there. It's still it's still pending though. Tampa, do you want the offer? I mean, if you're looking to make a trade, I'll trade with you. I mean, the Tampa guy just said last call for $325. So nope, they're not making the. They want to stay. They're going to stay, and they're going to take Mike Morse from Michigan. Who's gotten some love here. So that is, and the Giants who rejected everything I offered them. What will they do? Maybe if they're on the clock, will they only look at offers if they're on the clock? I mean, I doubt that's how that works, but maybe that's part of the calculation. We'll find out here instantly. My trade to the Giants didn't get rejected immediately, which usually it does because it's the computer making the trade. So I don't know. That's weird. I'm not sure what's happening over there in New York. Where is Joe Shane right now? Usually when I submit an offer, it immediately spits it back because it's a computer making the judgment, and I think it's gone. Yeah, they said no. What do you want from me, New York? What do you want? What more could I give you? It's supposed to be a Rooney Mara kind of thing. Good relationship there. We help each other out. I sent in a good offer, but not to be. Top players on the board. Let me get back to that. Tucker Kraft. Toa Toa, who got some love on here. Jamie Robinson. Parker Washington. Andrew Voorhees. Darius Rush. Be a good pick. Just kind of scrolling through some of the names here for you guys to see. Run by you. Who is, tell me Bakersfield position. I don't know it. I'll be able to find that a lot easier. Zach Pickens. And the Giants will take linebacker LSU. If he's off ball. Not seeing him unless he's an edge. Giants taking Joe Tippmann from Wisconsin. That's who they wanted really badly. LSU. I don't see him on here. So we are watching the last couple of picks. Dallas. He's off ball. I didn't see him on there. I can check again in a second. There goes Voorhees to Dallas. Solid pick. I think Voorhees fits the aggressive pass set system that Pat Meyer has. Some of the on-body sets that he had were very similar to what you see in Pittsburgh. That's to me is what makes him really attractive, and I think somebody that Pittsburgh would like, just because, as you saw last year, there's that transition and that adjustment period to what Meyer wants. Now, maybe it's a little less demanding because an offensive lineman isn't guaranteed and required to start, barring injury this year. But to me, that was one thing that really caught my attention, the size, the physicality, and some of the schematic stuff with Voorhees that I think makes him a good fit in Pittsburgh. Am I going to watch Cocaine Bear? Nah, you guys know me in movies, and that one, it seems like it'll be funny in the first 5 minutes. Oh, this bear's all hopped up on coke. And then after that, it's like, all right, we kind of get it. And, you know, that's the joke. It's one joke told over and over again for 2 hours. And that's just not my kind of party. Some long snapper talk here at 10 p.m. Don't threaten me with a good time, you guys. Buffalo on the clock. I was trying to trade with them. They wanted to make the pick. And we'll see what their pick is. Am I a Marvel or DC guy? Neither. I don't follow any of that stuff. Yeah, Ross Wisher. Things certainly got better. End of the year. They the growing pains subsided. And that's why they want to keep that group intact for next year to hopefully not revert back to growing pains had they changed OCs. I don't love the logic, but I get the logic and I'm not surprised by it. And Buffalo, after much consideration, making the pick. Michael Wilson from Stanford was one of the stars of the Senior Bowl game. Raiders pick is in, and it was Dorian Williams, the off-ball linebacker from Tulane. So thank you guys for being here. We'll hang out until the draft ends. We'll recap it briefly. And you can see a full archive version of the draft on the site tomorrow morning at either 8 or 9:30 a.m. on Steelers Depot. Please be sure to check out Steelers Depot. Check out the Terrible Podcast tomorrow. Dave and I will go over these 4 picks in Jordan Addison, Darnell Wright, Emmanuel Forbes, and is it Gervin or Javon? I don't know how to say it. Dexter. This one, the way that the draft is earlier this year catches me more off guard just because I'm so late to trying to catch up with prospects. So I'm a little bit more limited than I usually am, and I apologize for that. But, slowly getting there and have a great team. Ross Wisher, good night. Had a lot of fun having you here, too. Jalen Jones going to Indy. Ultimate Elite 11. Thank you for being here. As more trades get rejected. Gervin. That probably makes more sense. Gervin Dexter. Yeah, it is funny. We literally drafted the Steelers' first-round picks the last 2 drafts. Najee in 21 and Pickett in 22. So Now, okay, that means Kevin Colbert was watching us. We'll see if Omar Khan was watching us. But I guess that means Jordan Addison. If Jordan Addison becomes a Steeler at 17, I will become convinced that they watched these mocks, and that's how they draft. And that actually, if that happens, that means that you guys actually have a lot of power here. So you have to join the stream, you have to like the channel, like the video, and subscribe to the channel because you guys are driving the bus with the first round picks. It would be crazy. I don't think Addison will be the pick. I think it'll be a trendy thing to talk about, but I don't think it'll be where Pittsburgh's ultimately going to go. They don't draft first rounders with receivers a lot. I know new regime, it's kind of hard to guarantee those things, but just given the other needs, the value of a corner, a tackle that might fall, I wouldn't be shocked, obviously, but I'd be a bit surprised. Great one. The draft is only 3 rounds, so we are done picking. We're just watching the rest of this goes. And the Chiefs take Parker Washington. The squatty yak monster out of Penn State. The Colts pick is in. I think Kenny actually was round 2. I'd have to go back and check. Byron Young, the Tennessee man, not the Alabama man, goes to the Colts. Yeah, I think Pickett, we traded down, I want to say, last year and still got Pickett. It was a really good draft last year. Mike, I use Fanspeak for the mock draft or in the whole mock off-season thing where you can do free agency. You can sign up for the subscription model to have your free agency and draft be combined, and so Fanspeak is the site that I use for that, and my mock off season will get posted targeting March 13th, right before free agency officially begins. The draft is 3 rounds, just to be clear. Who else was available at 17? There weren't a lot of great options, BK. I'm trying to think back to who else was available. Skoronski was not there. Dawan Jones was there. Who else was there at 17 we were considering? Brian Branch we were considering. Yeah, I should say, Johnson and Edwards were pre-Colbert. I'm talking about like Colbert. That was Burris in 2000. Holmes was at 06. And then since then, nothing. Had been more concentrated to second rounders. So Johnson and Edwards have nothing to do with the Steelers' current regime. And obviously that doesn't mean they can't draft one. But given the lack of top-end talent, other needs, a pretty good depth of the class overall. You drafted Pickens last year. You have Deontay. It's a run-heavy type offense. I'm not going to say there's no chance about a receiver, but I think it's more unlikely. Yeah, we looked at Brissett, where I just said wrong again. Let's see what Washington does, the Commanders. Under what ownership? Who will be owning the Commanders? Dan Snyder. It won't be Jeff Bezos, apparently. But we'll see what the Commanders do. And they take Tanner McKee, making more quarterbacks. It's a weird collection of quarterbacks now in Washington with Howell and Wentz and Jaden Reed. A nice pick there by Cleveland. Yeah, I can look back at the Lions offer, sure. I got to scroll down, I guess, a ways to try to find where that was at. Would I take it now? I don't know. Probably. To get mid-second, move back 16 spots. Yeah, I probably would have done that. But we were right on. Well, in a vacuum, yes, but with Forbes being on the board, you obviously weren't going to get him if you moved back. 2 cornerbacks went right after Forbes went. So, would I have been as happy with the draft? I would have filled more needs, but from a value standpoint, because if Forbes was gone, I'd probably take that deal. And even if you guys didn't want me to take that deal, but the value there was just too strong. Josh Downs at 32 is my new agenda. I dig it. I like it, Grant. Gonzalez, if he's there at 17, you have to take him. Claude, I think I'm with you. I don't like to say those things ironclad so early for me, but I would not be mad about that. I'd be really fired up if Christian Gonzalez was the pick at 17. Pick is in for San Francisco. Blake Freeland. Tackle. Just worried about him at the Senior Bowl. Can he seal the edge against some quicker pass rushers? That's my concern. Who is Dave doing his first contextualization on? Good question. I don't know. I don't know who who his selection might be. It might be the Clemson kid. It might be Addison. I don't know. Good question. So just a reminder to subscribe to the channel. Again, a lot of draft content. I'm drafting a college football prospect video later this week. Don't know exactly what they haven't filmed the video yet, but a guy I really like. The Pats, with the next to last pick, I should say, they take Xavier Hutchinson, Iowa State. And with the final pick of the 2023 Walk the mock draft, the San Francisco 49ers take. Who will it be? The top players still available are Tucker Kraft, Zach Evans, Jamie Robinson, Sam Laporta, Garrett Williams, Darius Rush, to me a day 2 guy, Tyler Steen, Dontavian Wicks. What do the 49ers do? Yeah, Richardson, I think he's going to go top 10. Where in the top 10, I don't know, but he'll be a top 10 guy. That Ika dude from Baylor would have been a great pick at 32. Sure. It's just the question is, can you get full 3-down value? But there's a debate even about that, because when you're facing Baltimore and Cleveland, you need to stop the run. They take Charlie Jones, Tommy predicts. We'll see. What do we got here from San Francisco? Taking their time. Pick is in. The last pick of the draft will be the other Byron Youngs. Both Byron Youngs go in the 3rd round. That is the final pick of this Walk the mock draft. Again, our picks are Jordan Addison, Darnell Wright, Emmanuel Forbes, and Gervin Dexter out of Florida, who I'm going to be researching a bit more tonight. I should ask Jonathan Heitrader. I think he knows those Florida guys pretty well. So that is the draft. We'll take a quick look around the AFC North and see what the other teams did. Baltimore, just 2 picks. Jackson Smith and Jigba. DJ Turner. Yeah, the 2 Byron Youngs at the Senior Bowl, they both played on the same teams. I don't know why they didn't split those guys up to the American and National team to try to make it a little less confusing. They put them on the same team, so that was kind of funny. Bengals also just 2 picks, making a trade, going up to get Dawan Jones, the 1st-round pick, Dalton Kincaid, the 2nd tight end off the board, and Cleveland, also 2 picks. We were the only team to make more than 2 picks in the North. BJ Ojulari and Jaden Reed, 2 fine selections there for a team that did not have a 1st-rounder. Yeah, sad the Cardinals took Benton, but Chicago getting D-Hop. That is a big trade there. So those are our picks. Again, archive version can be found on Steelers Depot tomorrow. You guys were awesome. Really appreciate you guys hanging out with us to make these picks and make this a lot of fun. It's not fun if I'm just sitting here making it myself and not listening to you guys, not interacting with you guys. And so you guys make this happen. That's why I wanted to put as much power as possible into your hands. I know this is unscientific with the polls, but a lot of fun here. So offense early, defensive line later than what I thought, but it is a pretty weak D-line group. May compel this team to go towards free agency more as you kind of act this out and say, hey, the D-line group, yeah, we love Benton, but you can't hang your hat on just getting one guy. So may really kind of focus this team's needs and wants in free agency. Getting a receiver felt a little luxury-ish, still a value and importance to that, and guy's going to play a lot of snaps, but I get the pick there. Certainly makes a lot of sense. Right, getting some trench out Forbes, value too good to pass on, and Dexter for like that best defensive lineman available, especially with Jack Campbell gone. So we're going to wrap this up here in just a moment. Sydney, Grant, thank you for being here. Appreciate that. This was a lot of fun. Yeah, that Texans game on Christmas Eve, 3-sack game. That was one heck of a win there against Houston. So that is the draft. Top prospects still left: Tucker Kraft from South Dakota State, Zach Evans from TCU, and Jamie Robinson from Florida State. Austin played outside of Memphis. He can move around some. No Steelers receiver is static anymore. It's not like the AB days, but he's going to be primarily a slot receiver. C Bizzle or C Bizzle, have a good night. Thank you so much for being here. Ultimate Elite, same to you. Tommy, thanks for stopping by. Same to you, Mike, and Run By You, and everybody that joined. Got up to over 500 at our peak, which is awesome. Yeah, we're gonna do another one of these mocks. We'll call it in April. I don't know when. Obviously, I'll tweet and post on the channel when it will be. I don't know exactly how it will look like, and will there be other 31 GMs? Probably not, but we'll see. Maybe Walk the Mock will do something else. I don't know for sure. But Captain Spartan, thank you for being here. We will find that poll button for next time. We will figure it out for sure. Yeah, we'll get that taken care of for the next time. So recapping the top picks in the draft: CJ Stroud, Colts going up to 1, trading with Chicago. That trade was giving up the 4th overall pick, 3rd round pick, a future 2, and a future 3, which feels to me, is that realistic? I mean, it is for the exercise. In real life, could something like that happen? Maybe give up a little bit more future. I don't know. That's a good thought there. Anyway, Bryce Young, Will Anderson, Jalen Carter, Anthony Richardson, kind of the first pick of the draft. Though Stroud, the top quarterback, also interesting. Thank you, Yodi's Mania. I would have probably taken Branch if you made me choose right now. Mark Miller. Wish list not out yet. Will be in the next couple of weeks, or sooner than that. I will have a wish list. I have kind of a list of names that struck me when I kind of went through them in terms of potential free agents. I'm going to whittle that list down so it's a bit more, not every single name out there of 30 names. But I'm kind of working through that right now, Mike. So, gonna wrap the stream up. Appreciate you guys being here again. This will be archived, posted on Steelers Depot tomorrow morning. Dave and I on the Terrible Podcast will talk about the mock here and the picks and our thoughts on the selections. A teaser of the names. I've mentioned some of them on the podcast. They're not super exciting, but this exercise kind of helps me maybe refocus and think about that a little bit closer. So, wrapping the stream up. Appreciate you guys being here. Again, please subscribe to the channel. A lot of Steelers content, NFL draft content. Another one of these mock drafts will be done in April. You don't want to miss that. We'll certainly have a lot of fun with that as well. So, appreciate you guys being here, and we'll talk to you soon.